polarity of rocks.
Yeah, we are trying to study the magnetic properties or magnetic polarity of the rocks, so that we also get information regarding Earth's magnetic property or Earth's magnetism. Next, this paleomagnetism stated what? That the rocks that are found near to what? Near to the ridges are younger in age, and rocks that are found away from the ridges are what? Older in age. This is what the information we are deriving from paleomagnetism. This is the information we are deriving from paleomagnetism. Next came is what? Sea flow spreading theory. We discussed what is sea flow spreading theory says. What the sea flow spreading theory says? That sea flow is renewing itself. Sea flow is constantly spreading. Sea flow is constantly spreading. As a result, what is happening? New crust are being created. New crust are being created because of sea flow spreading. So new crust are being created. So this is what sea flow spreading theory is talking about, and it combines information with both the theories. That sea flow is spreading by because of directional current, and that's why younger rocks are found over here and older are found away. Lastly, we discussed plate tectonics. We discussed plate is what the term plate means. What the term plate means?
Blocks of lithosphere.
Yeah, the different blocks of lithosphere. And what is tectonics?
Study of.
Yeah, it is a study of forces and processes that are taking place within interior of Earth. And we discussed plate tectonics is that there are three different type of boundaries. Convergent boundary, yes. Divergent boundary and conservative boundary. Conservative boundary. So there are three different type of boundaries that are there. Convergent we further classified into oceanic, oceanic continent and continent. This part we have discussed. Fine. Because oceanic convergence whenever happens, then what will happen? Both are denser plate. So both oceanic plates are denser plate. As a result, subduction will happen. Subduction will happen over here, but this subduction will be very deep. This subduction will be very deep. That is okay. One thing we have discussed. This subduction is going to be very deep. So this subduction is going to be very deep. That is okay. What we have discussed. So this deep subduction will form what? This deep subduction will form trenches. So that is going to be formed at the oceanic boundary. The second thing that we have discussed is what? That when this plate will go down, it will melt, so it will cause what? Volcanic eruption to occur. When it causes volcanic eruption to occur, what will form? Island. Islands are going to be formed. Volcanic islands are going to be formed at this particular boundary. And the third thing we have also discussed was earthquake can occur at this particular boundary. So these are okay. What these are the phenomena we have discussed can occur at what? Can occur at oceanic convergence. So whenever oceanic convergence occurs, you will see formation of trenches. You will see formation of volcanic eruption. You will see island formation. You will also see earthquake can occur at these boundaries. So these are happening at the oceanic convergence. Fine. So as we discussed in the examination, the question was asked regarding to explain how different islands are being formed. So if you look at different islands, that you are finding over here is this island. You are finding this particular island. This entire island is referred as what? This entire island up to this one, it is referred as what? Indonesia island. So Indonesia is consisting of series of islands. It is consisting of this island, this part is there, this part is there. Series of island you are seeing, okay? Indonesia is someplace, okay, middle part. So the main two island of Indonesia, is referred as Sumatra Island and Java Island. So these are the two main island of Indonesia, Sumatra Island and Java Island. Fine. So how this island has formed? How this Indonesian island has formed? So Indonesian island again is going to be formed due to oceanic collision. So which are the oceanic plates? That are colliding, leading to formation of this type of islands? So one oceanic plate is what? One oceanic plate is your Indo-Australian plate. So you can see this is okay, Indo-Australian plate. We discussed this part. This whole is called as a Indo-Australian plate. So Indo-Australian plate is colliding with whom? Colliding with Philippines plate. So two plates are there. Indo-Australian plates is colliding with Philippines plate. So this is a part of Philippines plate. So when Indo-Australian plate and Philippines plate are colliding, you see formation of which type of island? You see formation of Indonesian island. So Indonesian island is formed due to what? Indonesian island is formed due to oceanic collision of which two plates? Indo-Australian plate as well as Philippines plate. Okay, so when these two plates are colliding, oceanic plates are colliding, you'll see formation of Indonesian island. And as we discussed, whenever these two plates will collide, what will happen? Trenches are going to be formed. So trenches that are formed over here are referred as a Java trench. So trenches that are formed over here is referred as what? Java trench. Okay, so as you know that Java is also an island of the Indonesia. So trenches that you are finding over here, because one plate is going to subduct over another plate. So trenches that are formed at this margin are referred as which type of trenches? Java trenches. Fine. The second important island is what? Philippines island. Okay, so this is another important island. Now this island is formed how this island is formed. So just now we discussed which plate is over here. Philippines plate is there, and this Philippines plate is colliding with whom? It is colliding with nothing but your Pacific plates. So when Philippines plate is colliding with what? Pacific plates, you will see formation of which type of island? Okay, you will see formation of Philippines island. Okay, so you will see formation of Philippines island, and the trenches along this margin is called as what? The trenches along this margin is called as a Philippines trench. Okay, so trenches along this margin is called as a Philippines trench. Fine. So this is how you see formation of whom island? Philippines island as well as Indonesian island. The third important island that you find is a Japanese island. Okay, so third important island that you find is a Japanese island. And if you look at Japan, Japan is divided into three parts: northern, middle part and southern part. Okay, so Japan is made up of three different type of nothing but island: northern, middle as well as nothing but southern part. Fine. So if you look at the map, so if you see map of the Japan, so you are seeing map like this. Fine. So here what you are finding is what? Here you are finding this is northern part of what? Northern part of Japanese island. So this the above part is called as the northern part of Japanese island. So this is called as a northern part. This is called as nothing but central part of nothing but Japanese island. Well, this part is referred as the southern part of Japanese island. So Japanese island is consisting of nothing but okay, three major parts that is okay there. Clear? Now the first part how it is being formed. The first part is being formed due to Eurasian plate collision. Eurasian plate collision. Clear? So the first part is being formed with nothing but okay, Eurasian plate collision. So Eurasian plate is oceanic plate. So it is continental and some part is oceanic plate. So majorly it is a continental plate with some part okay being oceanic plate of okay the Eurasian plate. When Eurasian plates collide with which plates? Pacific plates. So when Eurasian collide with nothing but okay Pacific, then it is going to create what? Then it is going to create the upper part of nothing but okay Japanese island. Fine. So this oceanic convergence is something that is okay happening in the upper part of okay Japanese island. Clear? Now trenches along this boundary. Trenches around this boundary is referred as Japanese trench. Trenches that are formed along this boundary are referred as a Japanese trench. Fine. The middle part is formed due to collision between Philippines plate and Pacific plate. So middle part is formed due to collision between Philippines plate and Pacific plate. That has led to formation of what? Formation of nothing but okay middle part. So when Philippines plate is colliding with what? Pacific plates, okay, this type of nothing but okay plates are going to be formed. Clear? The third is going to be formed what? The third is going to be formed due to Philippines plate colliding with Eurasian plate. So lower part is formed with Philippines plate colliding with which plate? Eurasian plate. Fine. So these are okay what? This is how the collision of what? This is how the collision of the three plates leading to formation of which type of island? Formation of Japanese island. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular thing? So this is important part that you have to keep in mind, which has led to what? Which has led to creation of okay what? Creation of Japanese island. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular thing? Now the trenches that are formed at this boundary. The second one is called as a Iju trench, and the trenches that are formed at this boundary are called as a Raiku trench. So trenches that are formed at this boundary are referred as a Iju trench. You can see Izu Island is also there. Okay, so you can see Izu Island is also being written. So Izu trench, okay, it is a Iju trench that is okay formed at the middle of the boundary, and at the lower boundary, which type of okay trenches are going to be formed? Raiku trench are something that are being formed. Clear? Clear? So these are okay what? These are the important collision that you have to keep in mind. So Eurasian and Pacific, then Pacific and Philippines and Eurasian. These plates has led to creation of nothing but okay Japanese island. Fine. Next important island that you find is a Caribbean island. So you are finding many type of island being okay there. You can see these island like Cuba, you can see Jamaica, you can see Puerto Rico. These are okay islands that are there. Then you have these islands, that is Antigua, Bermuda, Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados. You have these islands. Okay, so these are called as what? They are called as a Greater Antilles, and these are referred as a Lesser Antilles. Smaller islands are referred as a Lesser Antilles. These are referred as a Greater Antilles. Together, these all islands are referred as what? Caribbean island. Together, these all islands are referred as a Caribbean island. Clear? So the bigger island, that is Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, the bigger island that you are seeing is called as what? Is called as a Greater Antilles. The smaller one that you are seeing is called as what? The smaller one that you are seeing is called as a Lesser Antilles. Fine. So you have okay what? You have this together called as which type of island? You have together this called as a Caribbean island. Fine. So how this Caribbean island is being formed? Again, this particular bigger island, the Cuba, this thing has formed due to this particular North American plate. This is a North American plate, and Caribbean plates. So North American plate and Caribbean plate collision has led to creation of bigger one, and the South American plates as well as the Caribbean plates collision has led to creation of lesser Antilles. So Greater Antilles has formed due to collision of North American plate as well as Caribbean plate, while the Lesser Antilles is formed due to what? Lesser Antilles is formed due to collision between South American plate and Caribbean plate. Currently, the earlier we discussed North American plate and Caribbean plate collided. Collided means what? Led to nothing but subduction, led to formation of these islands. But currently they are diverging. They are not converging right now. Now these plates are something that are diverging. Clear? So North American plate at one point they were converging. So this led to formation of island, but now they are diverging in nature. Fine? Any doubt regarding this particular part? So North American plate and Caribbean plate. This has led to creation of what? This has led to creation of Greater Antilles, while the South American plate as well as Caribbean plate has led to creation of Lesser Antilles. Fine? So this is how you see creation of and the Caribbean island. Fine? Any doubt regarding this one? And again, trenches around this boundary is referred as what? Trenches around this boundary is referred as Puerto Rico trench. So trenches around this boundary is referred as which type of trench? Puerto Rico trench. Fine? Fine. So these are what? These are the important islands that you have to keep in mind. How formation of Japanese island had happened, how formation of Indonesian island had happened, how formation of Philippines island had happened. So all these along with what? Along with Caribbean island, how these has been formed? All has been formed due to which phenomena? Oceanic phenomena only. All has been formed due to oceanic phenomena only, that you have to keep in mind. Clear? But in examination, if questions comes regarding specific, to explain it, how it has been formed, you have to mention about what? You have to mention about specific plates over there. Fine? Mention about the name of the trenches. Which trenches is something that is being there. Fine? So now you can explain the formation of thousands of islands in Indonesian and Philippines archipelago. Can you explain now? So what will write? Yeah, they are formed due to convergence of what? Convergence of oceanic plate. Whenever oceanic plate will converge, then what will happen? Then what will happen? Subduction will happen, which leads to formation of trenches, deeper trenches, as well as what? Volcanic eruption. Because plate will melt, so this will lead to volcanic eruption. When volcanic eruption happens, then what will happen? You'll see islands are going to be formed. Clear? Then you have to mention about Indonesian island, how they are being formed, which trenches lie. Then you have to mention about Philippines island, how they are being formed, which two plate collision, and which has led to formation of which kind of trenches. Okay, so that you have to mention. Fine? Or in prelims, you can get a question like this. Which of these trenches lies near Caribbean island?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Answer will be Puerto Rico trench lies near the Caribbean island, because Mariana Trench lies in the Pacific Ocean. Izu Trench lies where? Izu and Raiku also lies in the Pacific Ocean near Japan. So these are not lying. So this type of questions you can get in the prelims part. Fine. And mains part you can get as we discussed explain the formation of the Japanese island, or explain formation of Caribbean island. Like that, questions can be asked in the mains part. Fine. So this is how you see creation of whom. This is how you see creation of the oceanic collision. Fine. Now the second question that you can see, this is also related with the plate tectonics only. Why are the world's 4 mountain system located along the margins of the continent? Yeah. So this also is related with what? This also is related with the plate tectonics only. Fine. So we have discussed oceanic collision has been asked over here. Now the second type of collision is also being asked, which is oceanic continent collision, which has led to formation of what? Formation of nothing but 4 mountain system. Fine. So these plate tectonics are very important, especially the seafloor spreading theory as well as plate tectonics theory are very important, because these are the modern theories. We discussed seafloor spreading theory is also correct, but it is incomplete theory, and plate tectonics is what? Comprehensive theory, and that's why they both can be asked in case of examinations. Fine. So now we are moving to the second type. So second type of convergent boundary is which type of collision? Oceanic continent collision. So we are done with the oceanic part. Now we are shifting to the second type of collision, which is called as the oceanic continent collision. Clear? Now this is one plate which is oceanic plate, and this is one plate which is nothing but continental plate. Fine. So one plate is oceanic plate, one plate is continental plate. Which is going to be more denser? Oceanic plate. Yes, okay. So we discussed oceanic plate is made up of mafic rock, more denser. So when they will come together, what will happen? Yeah, oceanic plates will subduct. Okay. So oceanic plate will subduct because it is more denser. Continental plate will not subduct. So it is going to be nothing but more denser. So this plate is going to subduct. And because of subduction, what will happen? Again what will happen? Melting of the plates can happen. Here the plate will melt. As you go deeper, what will happen? Temperature increases. When temperature increases, what will happen? A part of plate are going to melt, and this will lead to what? This will lead to nothing but volcanic eruption. This will lead to volcanic eruption. So at these boundary, whenever oceanic continent collision happens, what thing you are going to see? The first thing, subduction. Subduction will lead to formation of whom? Subduction will lead to formation of whom? Trenches. Okay, so first thing that you are going to see at this boundary is also what? Trenches. Trenches are going to form due to subduction. However, trenches here are not deeper. Trenches here are not deeper. That you have to keep in mind. Why? In oceanic plate, since both plate is trying to go down, as a result, what is happening? More deeper trenches are being created. But continental plate is lighter, so it will not go down. Rather, only oceanic plate will go down. So oceanic plate can easily go down now. Okay. So this lead to what? This lead to not deeper trenches formation. Trenches are going to be formed, but they are not going to be as deep as seen in what? As seen in oceanic collision. Fine. The second important thing that you see is what will happen? Volcanic eruption will happen. Volcanoes can form. Volcanic eruption can happen, and this volcanic eruption will lead to what? This volcanic eruption can lead to earthquake. Any collision will lead to earthquake. So earthquake can also occur, but volcanic eruption can lead to formation of what?
Islands.
Not island. Now here island will not be forming. Here what we call as a continental arc is going to form. Continental arc is going to form because volcanic eruption is happening where? On the continent. Yeah. In oceanic collision, what was happening? So in oceanic collision, we discussed one plate is subducting like this, another plate is subducting, also trying to go down. So this was how the oceanic plates were there, and because it is melting, you see volcanic eruption. When this volcanic eruption comes out, it forms what? It forms a volcanic island. But here, what you see is, okay, one of the plate is what? One of the plate is oceanic plate. Okay, so this plate is oceanic plate. Clear? Here water is something that is okay present. But the other plate is which type of plate? Continental plate. Okay, so when plate is melting, what is happening? You see eruption is happening on the continent, not on, okay, what? Not on the water that is going to be there. Eruption is going to happen on which? Eruption is going to happen on the continent. So that's why we say it is going to form which type of thing? Continental arc. Continental arc means what? Continental arc means a series of mountains. Series of mountains. Volcanic mountains are going to be formed. And this is referred as what? This is referred as nothing but, okay, continental arc. Fine. So a series of mountains are going to be formed, and this is referred as a term continental arc. Fine. So remember, whenever oceanic and continental plates are going to collide, what will happen? Oceanic plates are denser, they will move down. When they will move down, what is going to be formed? Trenches are going to be formed, but these trenches are not going to be deeper in nature. These are not going to be deeper in nature. Second, volcanic eruption can happen. Third thing, what is happening? Earthquake can happen. The fourth is formation of which type of arc? Continental arc. What is continental arc? It is nothing but, okay, a series of mountains, okay, that are going to be created. And the fifth thing that you found here is a fold mountain. The fifth thing that you found here is, okay, what we call as a fold mountains. That can also form whenever there is a collision of what? Then whenever there is a oceanic continent collision, what else can form? Fold mountains can form. Why fold mountains? Now, just now we discussed so this is continental plate. We discussed this plate is which plate? Oceanic plate. So this plate is oceanic plate, this plate is which plate? Continental plate. When they are colliding, convergence will happen. What will happen? The oceanic plate will subduct. Oceanic plate will subduct. And, okay, continental plate will remain as it is. Oceanic plate will subduct and continental plate will remain as it is. Okay, this will subduct, and as we discussed, melting will occur, which will lead to what? Which will lead to formation of continental arc. But what about this region? What about this region? When the plate were not colliding, what had happened? What will happen in this region? Water is going to be present in this region. Water is going to be present. When water is going to be present, what will happen? What will happen? These contain huge amount of what? These contain huge amount of sediments. These contain huge amount of sediments. Sediments will be deposited at the bottom. Okay, so this is how the water is there. This water, in between water, what will happen to these sediments? Sediments will be deposited. Why these sediments will be deposited?
Because water carries sediments.
Because whenever the river comes, flows continent and merge into sea, what the rivers are going to bring?
Sediments.
They are going to bring the sediments. We have discussed river erosion. River will erode. So river is flowing on the continent. This river is flowing on the continent, and this river is, okay, merging with the oceans or merging with the sea. So then when they will merge with the ocean or merge with the sea, what will happen? They are going to deposit lot of sediments at the bottom. Clear? Now what will happen to these sediments when plates are coming?
Rise up.
Yeah. These sediments will, okay, what? Will be squeezed. Okay, now we are squeezing these sediments. So as a result, what will happen is, okay, what? As a result of squeezing, we'll also see sediments becomes like this. They will become like this. They will become like this. With further squeezing, they will become like nothing but, okay, this. So this squeezing of sediments will lead to what? This squeezing of sediments will lead to formation of which type of mountain? Fold mountain. This squeezing of sediments will lead to nothing but, okay, formation of which type of mountain? Fold mountain. That is, okay, there. Clear? So that's why the sediments will get folded. The sediments will get folded and create nothing but, okay, big mountain system. That is, okay, there. Clear? And you will also see with for the plate moving further down, what will happen? With plate moving further down, you will see, okay, what? You will see this particular part will also slightly fold like this. This, okay, continental plate will also slightly fold like this, and as we discussed, this fold mountains will be like this. They will be folded like this. Okay, the fold mountains will be folded like this. So whatever the sediments that are there between whatever the sediments that are there between the two continents, they'll be what? They'll be nothing but okay squeezed together. Okay, they'll be squeezed together, resulting in formation of what? Fold mountains. Clear? That is the reason why question has been asked that why most of what? Why most of fold mountains are found where? At the margins of the continent. Why? The question was, what question we have discussed just now? Why most of the fold mountains are found at the margins? Why most of the fold mountains are found at the margins? Because the river will deposit sediments where? At the margins only. When plates are ending, then only you see rivers are going to nothing but okay deposit the sediments, and these sediments are then folded into what? These sediments are folded into fold mountain system, that is okay there. Clear? Any doubt regarding this particular part? So that's why you will also see formation of which type of mountain? Fold mountain. Whenever there is okay which type of collision? Whenever there is the oceanic continent collision. So whenever there is a oceanic continent collision, you'll see formation of trenches, but these trenches are not going to be deeper trenches. You'll see formation of what? Volcanic eruption. You'll see earthquake. You'll see continental arc, and you'll also see formation of what we call as a fold mountain system. Fine. So this is the reason why you see formation of the Elk Mountain, why you see formation of Rockies, why you see formation of Andes. All these mountains are formed due to what? Due to nothing but okay this process only. All these formation has happened due to this process only. Fine. So the first thing that you are seeing, so this is okay what you are finding with regard to North America map, physical map. Now you can see here, this is okay where it is written which type of mountain? Rocky Mountain. So you see here it is okay which type of mountain? Rocky Mountain or something that are there. But you will also see certain range like Cascade Range. Okay, here you will find which range? Cascade Range. Fine. You will also find this type of mountain system, Mackenzie Mountain System. That is okay. Also present over here, Mackenzie Mountain System. Clear? Alaska Range. Clear? All these are okay. What? All these are nothing but okay ranges that you are also seeing. Clear? All these ranges that you are also seeing. So why this is happening? Why so many ranges are there? So as we discussed, when oceanic continent will collide, what will happen? We will also see volcanic mountain, because volcanic eruption is happening. Volcanic mountain can also be created. These volcanic mountains are referred as what? Continental arc. And then also we discussed what sediments are going to be folded, and these sediments are folded to form which type of mountain? Fold mountain. Clear? These sediments are folded to form which type of mountain? Fold mountain. So as we discussed, when series of mountains are there, what you call them as?
Mountain system.
We call them as caldera. Caldera is called as what? Series of nothing but okay mountain chain. When series of mountain chains are going to be there, we call it as what? Caldera. Okay, that is okay there. Clear? So why you see series of mountain chain? You see series of mountain chain because of nothing but okay what? Because of nothing but okay both volcanic eruption also, and because of nothing but okay folding also. And that's why you see this region, USA has very mountain like Rocky Mountain, Cascade Range, Mackenzie Mountain, Alaska Range. All these are formed. Okay, all these are formed. Fine. So why these form? Which two? Okay, what? Which two plates are colliding? So as we discussed, one is North American plate. North American plate. This plate is colliding with what? On one side Pacific, and there is also a minor plate called as a Juan de Fuca plate. Juan de Fuca plate. Okay, so this is okay what? This is okay relating. When Pacific plate is colliding with North American plate, and Juan de Fuca plate is okay also there, colliding with which plate? Colliding with nothing but okay North American plate, which is leading to formation of which is leading to the formation of which type of mountain? Rocky mountain. Clear? It leads to formation of which type of mountain? Rocky mountain. Clear? But there also you see, as we discussed, okay, what will happen? Juan de Fuca is a minor plate. It is a minor plate. North American plate is which type of plate? Continental plate. Clear? Now, because of this region, because Juan de Fuca is minor and North American plate is a major plate, that is okay there. Because of this, you'll see, okay, what? Subduction is not much deeper. Subduction is not happening much over here. Clear? Because one is minor plate, one is what? One is continental plate. So what you see is okay, subduction is not happening much over here. Rather, they are trying to slide past each other. When they are trying to slide past each other, what will happen? To fault, remember strike slip fault and dip slip fault we have discussed. What is strike slip fault? When the plates will pass each other, that is going to create what? Strike slip fault. When downward movement or upward movement will happen, then it is going to create which fault? Dip slip fault. So here, because Juan de Fuca plate is what? It is minor plate. North American plates are there. They are okay what? They are nothing but okay sliding past each other, and that's why we discuss which fault is formed over here. Which fault?
San Andreas.
Yeah, San Andreas fault. This is something that is okay, form over here. We have discussed San Andreas fault earlier. So San Andreas fault is something that is formed over here because of what? Because of Juan de Fuca plate and North American plate. Okay, they are okay what? They are nothing but okay they are sliding past each other rather than one subducting. Clear? So this is okay reason why you see nothing but okay. Here you'll also see which type of boundary. Here also you see nothing but okay conservative boundary or slide. Okay, things are okay going to slide past each other. Clear? Remember three type of boundary we have discussed: convergent, divergent, and conservative boundary. We discussed conservative boundary is which type of boundary? Where plates will slide past each other. Neither things are created nor things are destroyed, and plates are sliding past each other. That type of boundary is called as a conservative. So you can see also conservative boundary formation over here because Juan de Fuca plate and North American plates are sliding past each other. That is okay there. And okay, subduction, slight subduction is happening because of Pacific as well as nothing but okay North American plate. Clear? So this is okay leading to what? This is leading to creation of what we call as a Rocky Mountain. Fine. Now there is one more question. Okay, fine. We have lost the connection. So what you'll find over here is, if you see Andes, so if you see Andes is like this. We discussed this is how the Southern American things are there, and you will find Andes like this, extending like this. So you see Andes are much closer to what? Much closer to the coastal region, but if you see Rockies are little farther away from what? From the coastal region. Now why this is happening? Why Rockies you will see are slightly away from forming from the coastal region, while you will see Andes very close to coastal region. Why this is happening? This is because of what? This is because of different type of plate interaction. This is because of different type of nothing but okay plate interaction that happens at this boundary. Clear? Now here what is happening is what? Here what you are finding is, let's say this is a plate, oceanic plate. This is nothing but okay continental plate. Now oceanic plate is like this, moving over continental plate. So continental plate, this part is nothing but okay what? Oceanic plate, that is okay there. It is not subducting much like this. It is not subducting much like this. Okay, oceanic plate is not subducting much. Rather, small marginal subduction is something that is okay happening. As a result, plates are melting and creating what? Creating nothing but okay rocky mountains slightly away from what? Slightly away from nothing but okay coast. But here subduction is happening near okay what? Near to the coast, and that's why Andes are formed what? Andes are formed closer to the coast. Okay, that is okay there. So here subduction is deeper. When subduction is deeper, plate will melt and plate will create nothing but okay volcanic eruption. So here volcanic eruption is happening closer to the coast. Here volcanic eruption is happening away from the coast. Okay, that is okay there, because here the plate is slight subducting. Here plate is more subducting. Clear? So that is the reason why you see Andes are formed closer to what? To okay coast, while Rockies are something that are formed slightly away from the coast. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular thing? So if the question comes, okay, that both are created due to oceanic continent collision, so why one is forming closer, why one is forming slightly away from the coast? So because of the nature of subduction or nature of plate interaction, you'll see at the South American side, you'll see more okay plate is going more down. When plate is going more down, you'll see more more formation of Andes near to the coast. Here plate is not moving much down, and as a result, okay, what you see is okay what? Formation of Rockies slightly away from the coast. Fine. So how Andes are formed? So Andes are formed as we discussed. Which plates here is there? South American plates. So which plate over here is there? South American plate, which is a continental one, and which here is there? There are again two plates, one major and one minor. So minor plate is Nazca plate. This is a minor plate, and major plate again is we discuss is which plate? Pacific plate. So Andes are formed due to what? Andes are formed due to collision between South American plate, Pacific plate, and Nazca plate. Okay, so these are the reasons which leads to formation of what? Which leads to formation of Andes. Fine. Fine. Now, another important, as we discussed, is the Alp region. Where is Alp? So we discussed European region. You'll see this is where Italy. This is okay where Alp region that you are finding. Clear? So Alp is again formed due to what? Alp is again formed due to continent oceanic collision. It is again formed due to continent oceanic collision, which is leading to nothing but okay Alp formation. Fine. So these are what? These are nothing but okay important type. Okay, that question can come. As we discussed, this question, if question now comes like this. So if now question comes like this, why are the world fold mountain system located on the margins of the continent? What will write?
So due to oceanic and continental collision,
Yes.
the sediments between both the plates will get deposited,
Get folded or
get
folded.
and form fold mountain.
Yeah, this will form fold mountain. Fine. And as we discussed, nature of what? Nature of subduction will decide whether they are being formed either either at the coast or slightly away from the coast. Okay, that is okay there. So this is why, okay, you see fold mountains are located on the margins of the continent. Some of the fold mountains, so you can give Rocky example, formation of Rockies. You can give formation of Andes as an example. While writing why world fold mountain system are located on the margins of the continent. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular part?
So in both North America and South America, the Pacific plates are the major plates, and in both also contain minor plates also.
Yeah, minor plates.
But in the North America, they are far away from the continent. In South America, they are near to the continent. But it's not matching, sir.
It's not
It's
matching.
not sinking in the water. Means when both it will subtract, but here also minor plate, here also minor plate. When it will subtract, it will
See,
go to the
in the Northern American plate, what we are seeing, this is the North American plate. This is the North American plate. The Pacific plate is not much subducting. It is like this. Pacific plate is not much subducting. So the minor plate is what? Minor plate that lies between these two plates is okay what? Sliding past each other. Okay, because not much subduction is there. They are sliding past each other. Creating which type of boundary? Conservative boundary or San Andreas fault. We have discussed that part. Now here what is happening? In the Southern America, they are more subducting. When they are more subducting, what is happening? Now here you see plate will melt. When plate will melt, what will happen? Volcanic eruption. So here the volcanic eruption will happen, okay, what? Closer to the coast. But since here the plate is melting over here, volcanic eruption is happening over here, which is away from what? Away from the coast. So that's why Rockies are formed what? Away from the coast, and these are formed more near to the coast. Fine? This is clear? Now what problem you are facing?
here also the minor plate will play. Minor plate is there, no, sir.
Minor plate is there, this Yuan-Di-Fuka plate, and here also minor plate is there, that is Nazca plate.
It will not converse.
Which one?
It will not horizontally. It will not.
Here you are saying Nazca plate is not going to move horizontally. No, Nazca plate is okay, slightly denser plate than what? Slightly denser plate than the Yuan-Di-Fuka plate. So because of this density, what is happening? It is subducting, slightly subducting. Clear? So not okay forming a fault over here. Okay, but here Yuan-Di-Fuka is forming a fault. It is sliding past because less denser in nature. So moving like this. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular thing? So this is okay, important part you have to keep in mind. Now it is saying bring out the association between global distribution of fold mountains, earthquake and volcanoes. So why you will write what you will write global distribution of fold mountains? So as we discussed, where you see fold mountains, Rockies are fold mountains, Andes are fold mountains. What else are fold mountains? Alps are fold mountain. Yes. Then which are fold mountain? Ural mountain. Yes. That is okay there. Then Appalachian is also old fold mountain. Yes. Okay. Then what else is a fold mountain? Himalayans are what? Fold mountain. Then again, what is else? Aravallis are which type of mountain? Fold mountain. All these are examples of nothing but okay, fold mountains. So you have to bring out the distribution that where fold mountains are located. Make a map and you have to write about these distributions. Okay, that Rockies lies where? Rockies lies over here. Appalachian lies over here. Andes lies over here. Then you have to talk about Alp mountain, Ural mountain. You have to talk about which mountain? Himalayan mountain. You have to talk about Aravallis. All these are examples of which type of mountain? Fold mountains only. So you have to talk about global distribution of fold mountains. And why there is association of volcanoes and earthquake wherever fold mountains are there. Why there is association of volcanoes and earthquake wherever there is a fold mountain.
So because subduction will happen and subduction will lead to melting the plate downside and it will lead to volcanic eruption and which in turn leads to earthquakes.
Fine. Okay, so we discussed whenever there is a oceanic continent collision, what is being found? Whenever there is oceanic continent collision, what is being formed? Trenches are being formed. Then volcanic eruption. Then earthquake. Then what else is formed? Continental arc and fold mountains. Okay, so wherever fold mountains are there, you see earthquake is also occurring and volcanic eruption are also occurring, because whenever there is oceanic continent collision, oceanic continent is leading to creation of fold mountains. Wherever fold mountains are created, there also you are seeing what? Earthquake, there also you are seeing volcanic eruption. Okay? So that's why there is association between what? There is association between nothing but okay, fold mountains, earthquake and volcanic eruption. So you have to talk about which type of collision over here. You have to talk about which type of collision over here? Oceanic continent collision. You have to talk about oceanic continent collision and explain whenever there is oceanic continent collision, fold mountains are going to be formed, but these fold mountains are going to be associated with what? Earthquake and volcanic eruption, because these are the sites of earthquake also and volcanic eruption also. So trenches are going to be formed, continental arc are going to be formed, earthquake are going to be formed, volcanic eruptions are going to be formed, fold mountains are going to be formed. So you have to explain, okay, why there is association, wherever fold mountains are there, why you are seeing volcanic eruption over there, why you are seeing earthquake over there. Fine, any doubt regarding this particular part? Yes, anyone having any doubt? Any doubt? No. Fine.
So 1 second.
Now, fine. Okay, there was another question which has come in the previous year. We are not getting that today. So this was the question that was there. Explain the geophysical phenomena of circum-Pacific belt. What is right in this one? So this was another question which was asked. Okay, explain the geophysical phenomena of circum-Pacific belt.
You should write about earthquakes.
You have to write about earthquake. Any other thing? Volcanoes. Any other thing?
So the Pacific plate is denser one. So there is a Eurasian plate and other plates, they are continental plates, and so subduction will happen, which will lead to volcanic eruption, and mountains will be volcanic islands will be formed in between.
Fine. Any other thing?
And the distribution of earthquakes and volcanoes.
You have to talk about distribution of earthquake and volcanoes. Yes. Any other thing?
So it is oceanic continental collision.
Oceanic continental collision. Fine. Any other thing? So the first of all, in the introduction you have to explain what? In the introduction you have to explain circum-Pacific belt. Location you have to explain. Where this lies? To a diagram and explain location of what? Circum-Pacific belt. This side which in North America, this side which one? Southern America. This side you have to explain Japan, Russia. Then you here Philippines, Indonesian island. So you'll see, okay, this entire region is referred as what? This entire region is referred as a circum-Pacific belt region. So first of all, we have to talk about what is circum-Pacific belt region. Location you have to explain. Fine. Then you have to talk about what? You have to talk about, okay, why this zone is a zone of what? This zone is called as a ring of fire because of frequent what? Frequent volcanic eruption and because of frequent what? Frequent earthquake. This zone is referred as what? This zone is referred as a ring of fire. Now why this is happening? Why this ring of fire is being formed? Then you have to talk about here what is happening. As we discussed how Japanese islands are being formed. How Japanese islands are being formed because of oceanic convergence. Okay, so you have to talk about oceanic convergence also. The Japanese islands are formed due to what? Eurasian part, the oceanic part of the Eurasian plate converging with what? Pacific plate. or we discussed the Philippines plate converging with what? Philippines plate converging with nothing but okay, Pacific plate. This is leading to the oceanic collision. Or we discussed why this Indonesian islands are being formed or Philippines islands are being formed, again due to what? Oceanic convergence. So here what is happening due to oceanic convergence? What will happen? Whenever this type of convergence happens, we discuss plate will subduct and trenches are going to be formed, and what will happen? Volcanic islands are going to be formed. So we will have volcanic island formation. That's why a lot of volcanic eruptions are going to happen in this region, and this volcanic eruption can trigger what? Can trigger nothing but earthquake. So you have to explain about that particular part. Second, you have to talk about this side. What is happening at this side? So there it is happening oceanic convergence. Okay. Here what is happening? Oceanic continent convergence. Okay. This oceanic continent convergence is leading to what? Again, volcanic eruption and earthquake at this particular region. That's why this entire region is called as what? Entire region is called as a Pacific Ring of Fire region. This entire region is called as a Pacific Ring of Fire region. So on one side, if first how you have to start, you have to explain circum-Pacific belt. What is their location? Why it is called as a ring of fire? On the other side, you have to explain oceanic collision. On the other side, you have to explain which type of collision? Oceanic continent collision. And then there is another type of nothing but okay thing that is okay happening, which is called as a hotspot volcanism. So we discussed which island is created due to hotspot volcanism. In the Pacific region, which island is created due to hotspot volcanism? We have discussed hotspot volcanism earlier. Which island is being created due to hotspot volcanism? One island we talked about was Reunion Island, which lies where? Which lies in Indian Ocean region. Another island that we talked about was what? Hawaiian Island. Yes. Okay. So this Hawaiian Island you have to talk about. So hotspot volcanism also you have to talk about. You have to talk about Hawaiian Island over here that is forming due to what? Due to nothing but okay, hotspot volcanism. Clear? So these three phenomena you have to explain while explaining what? While explaining the circum-Pacific belt. Oceanic collision, oceanic continent collision, hotspot volcanism. These three phenomena and how this is leading to what? How this is leading to volcanic eruption and earthquake. Clear? So this is what you have to write and explain geophysical phenomena of what? Geophysical phenomena of circum-Pacific belt. Okay, so this is okay. Another type of question that has been asked in the mains examination. I think in 2018 paper you are going to see this questions. Explain geophysical phenomena of circum-Pacific belt. Fine? Clear? So if you are only explaining oceanic continent, then what will happen? Then your marks will not be much. Okay, you have to explain all three phenomena: oceanic continent, and hotspot volcanism. Fine. So now we are moving to the third type of collision. Third type of collision is which collision? Continent collision. So what happens in a continent collision is what? The two plates, okay, that are both are continent. When both are continent, what will happen?
Lighter plates.
Both are lighter in nature. Clear? So So what happens in a continent-continent collision is,
None of them will subduct.
yes, neither of them will subduct.
Upthrusting.
Yeah, upthrusting will happen in case of continental collision. So this is okay what? This is nothing but okay one plate. This is nothing but okay another plate. Both are what? Both are continental in nature. When continental plate will collide, as we discussed, neither of the plate is denser to go down. So that's why no subduction. Rather, okay, you see upthrusting will happen. Upthrusting phenomena where it takes place, that is okay there. Clear? So one continental plate will be upthrusting the another continental plate. So what will happen is okay, the two things are coming together, they are locked like this. They are trying, okay, no one is trying to go deeper, they are locked like this, and suddenly one will move over nothing but okay, another like this, okay, that is okay there. Clear? So this phenomena is called as what? This phenomena is called as a upthrusting phenomena. Upthrusting phenomena. Upthrusting phenomena. Fine. Now, what you also have to keep in mind is what? What you also have to keep in mind is this continental collision again will lead to what? Again will lead to formation of what? Formation of fold mountains. So again, fold mountains are going to be formed where? Fold mountains are going to be formed where? At the continent collision. So they are also being formed at which point?
Continent.
Oceanic continent collision, they will also be found at continental collision. Fine. Second thing, since there is no subduction happening, what will happen? No trenches are going to be formed over here. No trenches are going to be formed because no subduction is something that is okay happening. So at continent collision, okay there. Clear? The third thing, what will happen is okay. What will happen is no volcanic eruption also. Why? No subduction, no melting of plate. When no melting of plate, what will happen? No volcanic eruption are going to be there. But what you will see is what? You will see release of energy because these are locked. Suddenly one will move over other. Release of energy is going to be there. So earthquake will occur at this boundary. Earthquake will occur at this boundary. Rather, this type of upthrusting can lead to creation of what? This type of upthrusting can lead to creation of the tectonic plateaus. Clear? So like which plateau lies over here? Which plateau lies over here? Himalayas are the fold mountains. Which plateaus lies over here? Tibetan plateau. Which plateau lies over here? Tibetan plateau. Clear? Tibetan plateau is which type of plateau? It is a tectonic plateau. Okay, so you will see formation of which type of plateaus? You will see formation of tectonic plateau, and these plateaus are going to be of very high height. Whenever plateaus are created due to tectonic activity, they will generally have a high height. Clear? That's why Tibetan plateau is also referred as a roof of the world. This is also referred as what? This is also referred as a roof of the world. Tibetan plateau is also referred as a roof of the world because of its higher height. Clear? So whenever continent collisions are going to be there, what will happen? You're gonna see fold mountains over there. You will not see trenches, you will not see volcanic eruption, but you will see earthquake, and you will also see formation of what? You will also see formation of higher plateau, which are referred as tectonic plateau. One example of tectonic plateau that you find is a Tibetan plateau. Okay, these plateaus are of great height because of upthrusting, and that's why Tibetan plateau is referred as what? Referred as a roof of the world. Fine, any doubt regarding this one? Now, why again here fold mountains are going to be there? Why? Yes, again you will see what? Again you see one plate, another plate. In between these plates, what will happen? Sediments are there. Sediments are deposited under the water. And what will happen is, okay, when these two plates come together, then what will happen? These sediments will get folded into what? Folded into formation of what we call as a fold mountains. Okay. So when these these comes together, these sediments will get folded into what we call as a fold mountains. Clear? So that's why you will again see a fold mountains over here. Fine. So for example, Himalayan is formed due to continent collision. So we discussed the Indo-Australian plates. This plate is now colliding with the continental part of European plate. These are okay colliding with each other. European plate and the Australian plates are something that are colliding. Which is okay what? Which is upthrusted? Which is upthrusted? Which will be remaining as it is? Which plate? So one plate will be upthrusted, one plate will remain as it is. Which plate is going to be upthrusted?
European plate.
Why?
Denser will be placed.
Denser will be at the, both are lighter, continental plate both are.
So because Indo-Australian plate was the one to come there and hit the European plate.
Which side you will find Tibetan Plateau? Which side you are finding Tibetan Plateau? On the Eurasian plate side, okay? So which plate is now upthrusted? Eurasian plate is upthrusted, okay? And which plate is going down? Indian plate is nothing but, okay, there. So which plate is upthrusted? Eurasian plate, and that's why Tibetan Plateau is formed over what? Over north of India. If it is Indian plate, then Tibetan Plateau would have been formed what? Tibetan Plateau would have been formed, okay, within India. Because, okay, if the upthrusting was like this, Indian plate you would have been upthrusted, then what will happen? Where do you see Tibetan Plateau? On the Indian side. But since, okay, Eurasian plate is upthrusted, you are seeing Tibetan Plateau on which side? On the Tibetan side, okay, that is okay there. On the Eurasian plate side you are seeing. Fine, any doubt regarding this particular thing? So you are finding Indian plate is okay, going, okay, what? Indian plate is down and Indian plate is upthrusting which plate? Indian plate is upthrusting the Eurasian plate. Clear? Any doubt regarding this one? That's why Eurasian plate is going up, and that's why tectonic plateau is formed where? On the Eurasian plate side, that is okay there. Fine. Now, as we discussed, India has been broken down from where? Remember, initially there was a supercontinent. We discussed plate tectonics accepted what? Accepted that, okay, there is a supercontinent, and what will happen? All continent has been broken from where? From the, okay, the Eurasian, the Pangea part, that is okay there. But we discussed Wegener's forces were not, okay, what? Not accepted. The pole filling forces and tidal forces, they were rejected. Rather, okay, now we shifted to which concept? Convectional current. That this convection current is responsible for what? Movement of plates that we have discussed. Fine. So Indian plate is okay, part of which plate? Indian plate is broken from which plate? Broken from Africa, and Indian African were part of which plate? Which continent? They were part of Gondwana land. They were part of which land? Gondwana land. So Indian African part, Indian part, these are part of, okay, which type of land? Gondwana land. So we discussed initially Pangea was there. Pangea was broken down into what? Laurasia or Angara land and Gondwana land. From this part you see Africa has been created. From this part you see India has been created. From this part South America has been created. All these are coming from where? All these are coming from Gondwana land. What lies between Gondwana land and, okay, the Angara land? Tethys Sea. Okay, so there lies your which sea? Tethys Sea. Yeah. So when Indian plates is moving towards Eurasian plate, which sea is between? Tethys Sea is between. Sediments are deposited where? In the Tethys Sea. These sediments are folded into what? These sediments are folded into Himalayas. Okay, these sediments have been folded into what? These sediments have been folded into Himalayas. So Tethys Sea used to contain lot of sediments. When, okay, these plates are coming together, Tethys Sea has been narrowed down. Okay, sediments of Tethys Sea has been squeezed to form what? Squeezed to form nothing but, okay, Himalayas. Okay, that is okay. Clear? That's why you see, if question comes, okay, like this, that Himalaya contains rocks of, okay, oceanic origin, will be correct or wrong statement? It will be correct statement. Why? Because the Himalayas has been formed because of what? Because of sediments of Tethys Sea, oceanic sediments. Okay, so Himalayas have rocks of what? Oceanic origin, that is okay there. Okay, they have rocks of sea origin or oceanic origin. Clear? So though you may think like both, okay, Himalayas have been formed due to what? Continent plate collision, so oceanic thing will not be there over here. But yes, Himalaya do contain rocks of nothing but, okay, oceanic origin, because Tethys Sea sediments has been nothing but, okay, folded. And these Tethys Sea, because collision, as we discussed, is, okay, taking lot of time. This collision is taking lot of time. So these sediments are over here like this. So what will happen is, okay, what will happen? This is, okay, water. These sediments are there. First, what will happen? They will come near like this. They will come near like this. So what will happen to sediments? They will be squeezed like this. But there will be other sediments like this. Okay, there will be other sediments like this. With further, okay, with further coming together, we'll see nothing but okay what squeezing and further squeezing. Second squeezing will occur. Okay. Then with further coming together, what will happen? We'll see nothing but okay what further squeezing will occur. That's why you see greater Himalayas, middle Himalayas, and outer Himalayas. Okay. So that's why you see folding is happening not at one go. Okay. Sediments are not folded at one go. First, okay, what will happen? Because of coming together, you see folding is occurring. Then further coming together, what is happening? Again folding is occurring. With further coming together, again folding is occurring. So that's why you have a greater Himalayas, middle Himalayas, and outer Himalayas. Clear? That is why three phases of formation is there. Three phases of formation: greater, middle, and outer Himalayas. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular part? So this is the reason why Himalayas has been formed. This is the reason why Himalayas has been formed. It has been formed due to which type of collision? Continent collision. Clear? You'll find okay, what you'll find here? Which mountain? Atlas mountain. Yes. Okay. You'll find here which mountain? Atlas mountain. Atlas is formed due to collision between what? European plate again and African plate. Okay. So African and European plates are something that are converging. And this is leading to formation of which mountain? Atlas mountain. So Atlas mountain is also formed due to which type of collision? Continent collision. Clear? Clear? So that all these are new mountains because Himalayas are still rising. We say Himalayas, okay, Indian plate is still going, okay, and Eurasian plate is still being uplifted. So what you see is, okay, Himalayas are still rising in nature. That is okay there because this folding is still going on. And that's why we call it as what? If you remember the mountain classification based on periods, the latest period is called as which period? Alpine. Yes, okay, Alpine mountain system. We discussed earlier Hercynian mountain system, Caledonian mountain system, or Precambrian mountain system. So the latest one, all these Atlas mountain, the Rockies, Andes, okay, all these are okay referred as what? All these are referred as what? The Alpine mountain system recently being created. That is still young fold mountains. Fine. That's why Himalayas do not have which type of eruption? Volcanic eruption. Himalayas do not have volcanic eruption because there will not be any volcanic eruption that is going to be there. Clear? So because of okay folding, you see fold mountains, Himalayas are created. Because of upthrusting, you see which plateaus are being created. Tectonic plateaus are something that are being created. So this is the reason why when there is okay what? When there is a continent collision, you'll see formation of what? You'll see formation of something but okay these particular aspects. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular thing? So in that question which we discussed, okay, if question asked why the fold mountains are always formed at the margins, there what you will write? We discussed oceanic continent collision. That was question we discussed. Why the fold mountains are formed at the margins of the continent. So you will talk about which type of collision? Oceanic continent collision. But as a okay what? As a point, also you have to mention that there are certain fold mountains which are formed due to what? Continent collision, like Himalayas and etc., which are not found at the margins. Himalayas are found where? At the interior. Remember, on the location, mountains on the location we classify them into what? Okay. On the location we classify them into continental mountain and oceanic mountain. And continental mountain further we classify them into what? Coastal mountain and interior mountain. Like we discussed Tian Sha mountain or Altai mountain, Ural mountain. These are interior mountain. Himalayas are interior mountain. Rockies and these are which type of mountain? Coastal mountain. So as a passing point, you also have to mention this part. Okay, that there are certain fold mountain created due to what? Created due to continent collision. These may lie at the interior side, like Himalayas. Like okay, you see Ural, okay, those are lying on the interior side of okay what? Interior side of the continent. Fine. So you have to mention this. Okay, you don't have to only mention about okay the oceanic continent because fold mountains are also created due to what? Continent collision. So you have to mention this point also in the case of answers. Fine. Any doubt about this particular part? So this is all about what? This is all about your continent type of collision. So these are what you are finding at the convergent boundary. So these things you are finding at the convergent boundary, which is oceanic collision, oceanic continent collision, and continent collision. You'll see what? You'll see volcanic eruption and earthquake at this boundary. You'll only see earthquake at this boundary. You'll see trenches formation over this boundary. You'll see tectonic plateau formation at this boundary. Fold mountains you'll see at this boundary. fold mountains, you can also see at this boundary. Volcanic island, you're going to see at this boundary. Continental arc, you are going to see at this boundary. Clear? So this formation you have to keep in mind with regard to what? With regard to convergent boundary. Clear? So oceanic, this common here is what? Trenches and volcanic island, okay, volcanic eruption and earthquake. But fold mountains is only found at which boundary? Oceanic continent, and volcanic island are formed at which boundary? Oceanic boundary. And oceanic continent, which type of arc is going to be formed? Continental arc is going to be formed. At this boundary, you'll see which type of plateaus? Tectonic plateaus along with the fold mountains. Fine. So these are okay, but these are important things that you have to keep in mind with regard to convergent boundary. Fine. Next we are coming to divergent boundary. So second type of boundary that you have is a divergent. Now next type of boundary that you have is a divergent. This type of boundary will be created when plates are moving apart from each other. When plates are moving away from each other, then which type of boundaries are created? Divergent boundary. So where the plates will move apart? Wherever rising currents are there. Wherever rising currents are there, they will push away the plate away from each other. Clear? Wherever the convergent boundary we have discussed, wherever falling currents are there. So convergent boundaries are generally seen where? At the wherever falling currents are there. So it is bringing the plates together, convergent boundary. Wherever the falling currents are there, the plates are something that are converging. Wherever rising currents are there, plates are something that are diverging. So divergent boundaries are generally formed at the places where convectional currents are something that are diverging in nature. Fine. Now when the plate will diverge, what will happen? Let's say this is how the plates were there. When plate will diverge, what will happen? What will happen? Space is going to be created. When space is going to be created, what will happen? Volcanic eruption. Okay, so what will happen? Volcanic eruptions are going to happen. So when they will move apart, space are going to be created. This space will allow lava to come out. When lava will come out, what will happen? Volcanic eruptions are going to be there. So that's why here what you going to see going to form here what you see what will be formed, ridges are going to be formed. So at this point we'll see ridges formation that is okay there. Clear? Other than the ridges formation, what will happen? Other than the ridges formation, what will happen? Sometimes these volcanic eruption can come onto the surface also. This may lead to creation of volcanic islands also. So you might see formation of volcanic island, but island arc will not be formed. Okay, island arc will not be generally be seen, but volcanic island can be seen in such particular region. Clear? Like we discussed Cape Verde Island, other island. Okay, that is formed due to nothing but divergence. Okay, that is okay there. Clear? So what you see is you can see formation of ridges. Second thing you can see is what? Island can be formed. Sometimes if this eruption comes onto the surface, then island can be also seen. Fine. Third thing, what can be formed? If plates are diverging, what also can be formed is rift valleys. Okay, so if plates are diverging, what also can be formed is rift valley. Narrow valley can be formed. Okay, and this valley is called as what? Rift valley. Clear? Then if the plates are also diverging, you will see formation of linear sea also. This type of sea can be formed. Okay, further plate diverging, what will happen? A sea will be formed. Okay, which is called as nothing but linear sea. So linear sea can be formed at the divergence part that is okay there. Clear? Sometimes you will also see which type earthquake can also be generated at this particular boundary. So you will see formation of ridges. You can see formation of what? Volcanic island. You will also see formation of what we call as a rift valley. The fourth is what? Linear sea formation can happen. And fifth formation is what? Earthquake. Okay, that are going to be formed. So these are these are the things that you can see at the which type of boundary? Divergent boundary. Fine. So that's why, if you remember the volcanic eruption, when we were discussing about volcanic eruption, we discussed volcanic eruption can be found at the convergent boundary also and can be found at a divergent boundary also, but it will not be found at which boundary? It will not be found at which type of convergent boundary? Continent convergent boundary. Clear? So if the question comes, okay, like this. Which statement is correct?
Which one is correct?
Second one also.
So all of them are correct.
All of them are correct. Yes. Okay, so volcanic eruption can occur at both convergent and divergent boundary. Correct statement. Himalayas do not have any volcanic eruption. Yes. And also we discussed Himalayas is formed at which type of boundary? Convergent boundary. But if I change this statement and say volcanic eruption occurs at all convergent and divergent boundary, what will happen? Then it becomes a wrong statement. So you have to read statement very carefully. What is okay given in the statement, you have to read statement very carefully. That okay, they might give you this type of statement to check whether you are understanding where volcanic eruption is happening or not understanding where volcanic eruption will happen. Right? So if okay, remember that okay, this type of questions UPSC generally play with the words only. They play with the word. They'll write something only, okay, all. This type of word they will okay write in the statement and okay try to check your knowledge for that. Fine. So we discussed divergent boundary. The first type of divergent boundary that you see. How this is going to be formed, how this divergent boundary is going to be formed. So as we discussed, this divergent boundary is going to be formed due to what? Due to nothing but okay, the convectional current rising and moving out. Convectional current rising and moving out. Let's say this is our Earth's surface. Let's say this is a Earth's surface and this is how the convectional current is rising and spreading. Now, when the convectional current will rise and spread, what will happen? It will rise and spread, what will happen?
Energy distribution will happen and plates will move from one.
Plate will move from one part to another part. Is the plate movement okay start suddenly or there will be time for plate
There
movement?
will be times.
So what will happen within that time when plate is not started moving? What will happen?
So breaking of the plate will happen slowly
How do you think breaking will happen?
because this movement is not sudden. So if it takes time, so there it will happen slowly.
As we discussed, okay, if magma is spreading and Earth's surface is in contact with the magma, what will happen?
So dome will be highline will be created.
Highland will be created. Okay, so we discuss any substances when heated, what will happen? It will expand. It will expand. Any substances when heated, it is going to what? It is going to expand in nature. Fine. So this is okay. What you have to keep in mind. Any substances when heated, what will happen? It will expand in nature. So when magma will be in contact with what? When magma will be in contact with the surface, what will happen? This surface will now expand. Okay. So this surface will now expand like this. So you'll see plates are going like this and this surface is now going to clean again. now this surface will be like this. So what was the original surface? This was the original surface. Now this original surface has been heated, and this original surface will now expand like this. Clear? So any surface where we discuss when it is heated, what will happen? It is going to expand. So this expansion will lead to what? This expansion will lead to what? From this plate, this part is also connected with what? This part is also connected with the other part. Clear? So this land, okay, this earth surface is also connected with the other surface, okay, that is okay there. Now what will happen when it will expand? What will happen? There will be what? There will be nothing but okay, tension that will arise between these two surfaces, okay? Because one is trying to expand, another is not expanding. So what will happen? Tension will be created in nothing but okay, these two plates, okay, that is okay there. Clear? Regarding this particular thing. So there will be expansion of the okay what? There will be expansion. You'll see this expansion will lead to formation of what? Highlands, okay? Or we call it as what? Sometimes we also call it as a volcanic plateaus. So this type of plateaus are called as what? This type of plateau, like we discussed, one type of plateau is tectonic plateau, another type of plateau is going to be what? Volcanic plateaus, okay? So if highlands are being created, then what will happen? It may lead to formation of volcanic plateaus also, that is okay there, clear? So this highland are going to be created. Now because of this highland, what will happen? As we discussed, there will be tension between nothing but okay, two plates. There will be tension between two plates because one plate is trying to expand and other is okay what? Other is nothing but okay, not aligned. So one surface is trying to expand, other is okay as it is. So there will be tension. Because of this tension, what will happen? Because of this tension, what will happen? A rupture or fracture is going to be created. A rupture or fracture is going to be created. Clear? A rupture, because of tension, what will happen? A rupture or fractures are going to be created. Fine? Fine. Because of this and also you will see what? Also you will see thinning of crust. Thinning of crust. Why you will see thinning of crust? Why you will see thinning of crust?
Because it is expanding.
It is expanding. Yes, earlier it was denser. Now what is happening when it is expand? What will happen? You will see thinning of crust will also happen. So when the volcanic eruption is okay or magma is spreading, magma will okay heat and create nothing but okay what? Create a okay the plateaus, okay, volcanic plateau or island region. This island region will create a tension and create a fractures or rupture or can call thinning of the crust. This can also happen over here. Okay, this can rupture and fracture can also happen over here. Clear? So here also it can happen. Here also it can happen. Rupture and fracture because okay, thinning of crust is now happening. Crust is now become okay thinner and thinner. When crust will become thinner and thinner, what will happen? We'll see fractures can be created, ruptures can be created. If crust is more denser, what will happen? Difficult to break. Crust is okay, more thinner, what will happen? Easier to break. That is okay there. Clear? So thinning okay can also happen over here. So here also you will see ruptures and fractures can happen. Clear? When ruptures and fractures will happen, what will be formed? What will be formed? You will see formation of what we call as a rift valleys. So okay, you will see the formation of what? Rift valleys. So first stage is going to be what? Creation of highland. The second stage is going to be creation of what? Creation of rift valley. Clear? So when magma is rising and spreading, what is happening? The first step that can be created is what? First step that can be created is creation of highland. With highland, what will happen? Thinning of crust happens, ruptures and fractures can happen. Because of ruptures and fractures, what will be formed? Rift valleys are going to be formed. Initially, this rift valley will be smaller in nature. So we call it as a lake. Because it is smaller in nature, when rupture will be created, this rupture will be filled with what? Water. This rupture, because okay, this part is okay now moving away. This rupture will be filled with what? This rupture will be filled with water. So this will lead to creation of what? Creation of nothing but okay, smaller lake. But as this rupture and okay, this becomes okay broader, what will happen? We call it as a Great Rift Valley. We call it as which type of valley? Great Rift Valley. Like we discussed, African Rift Valley is referred as what? Great Rift Valley. Clear? So initially, okay, when okay the rupture or fracture will be created, what will happen? Water will what? Water will fill those rupture and fracture, and those lakes are referred as which type of lake? Those lakes are referred as a tectonic lake. Those lakes are referred as which type of lake? Tectonic lake. Lake created due to tectonic activity. So that this type of lakes are referred as what? This type of lakes are referred as a tectonic lake. As it get broadened, then what will happen? It will change into which valley? It will change into Great Rift Valley. Fine. After rifting, what will happen? After rifting, what will happen now? This rift has been created. Okay, Great Rift has been created. After rifting, what will happen? Further divergence. With further divergence, what will happen? With further divergence, what will happen? You will see formation of what? Linear sea. You will see formation of which type of sea? You will see formation of linear sea. Clear? Linear sea is going to be formed. And with further divergence, what will happen? You finally see formation of whom? You will see formation of oceans. Okay, so first what is going to be formed? Great Rift Valley. With further divergence, what is going to be formed? Linear sea. With further divergence, what is going to be formed? Oceans are something that are going to be formed. Clear? Any doubt regarding this particular thing? So if you see the map, what is happening? What is happening? This is okay where Africa is there. We discussed this part is where you are seeing creation of what? Rift Valley, that is called as what? Great Rift Valley or East African Rift Valley. Then you'll see which part is over here. This is called as the Arabian Plateau or Arabian Peninsula. This region is called as the Arabian Peninsula. Which sea is over here? This sea is called as what? Red Sea. Red Sea is which kind of sea? Linear sea. So now Arabian Plate earlier was a part of whom? Arabian Plate earlier was a part of African Plate. Okay. Then what had happened? Fracture or rupture has happened. What will be formed earlier? Rift Valley will form. When further get broadened, then what is going to be formed? Linear sea are going to be formed. This linear sea is in examples is what? This linear sea examples is a Red Sea, which is created between Arabian Plate and African plates. Okay, so this is currently in third stage. Red Sea is currently in third stage. Here, which highland you are seeing? Here you see Ethiopian highland. So first stage is which highland? Ethiopian highland. Okay, this is okay at first stage. Then you see second stage is which stage? Rift Valley stage. Okay, that is okay there. Third stage is which stage? The Red Sea stage. And now, okay, you'll see also this part. This is okay, which ocean? Atlantic Ocean. And Atlantic Ocean is in which stage? It is currently in the last stage, fourth stage. That's why you see Atlantic Ocean is what? Expanding or diverging. Pacific Ocean is converging, but Atlantic Ocean is what? Diverging. Why? Because these two parts which were earlier which were part of Africa, now broken away. First what is formed? Rift Valley, then further linear sea. Now they have become more broader. So what is being formed? Atlantic Oceans are being formed. Yes.
So please explain the second.
Which one? This part. Okay, this ocean part. Now after the Red Sea, we discuss what is okay. Linear sea, what is of stage? With further divergence, oceans are going to be formed. Clear? So if you remember what Wagner was saying that this Africa was earlier joined with whom? This Africa was earlier joined with nothing but these two regions. Clear? Now these two parts has now been broken away from where? Broken away from Africa. Now initially when they will broke away, what is going to be formed? Rift Valley. After that, what will be formed? Sea will be formed. Now they have further diverged. So this region has now changed into which ocean? Atlantic Oceans. So that's why we are seeing Atlantic Ocean is increasing in size, because the African is moving this side, and what will happen? North America and South America is moving towards other side, while the Pacific Ocean, which is currently the bigger ocean, is now converging, because these are moving over here while other plates are coming. So this is converging. This is nothing but diverging. Why divergence is happening? Because it is currently in which stage? Currently nothing but fourth stage, divergent boundary. So at the divergent boundary, first stage is what? First stage is magma rising, moving, and this will create what? This will create island. This island will lead to thinning of crust. Thinning of crust and rupture, fracture will be created. Because of rupture and fracture, what will happen? Rift valleys are going to be created. Smaller, when it is smaller, it will create a lake. When it becomes a bigger, rift valley is going to be there. Then further divergence will lead to what? Creation of linear sea. So Red Sea is currently in this stage. And with further divergence, what will happen? We'll see creation of oceans, which is Atlantic Ocean currently in this stage. Okay, so this is what happening at the divergent boundary. Fine.
So Red Sea will create the Atlantic Ocean.
No, Atlantic Ocean is this side. In future, when what will happen? This get further widened. Arabian Plate move further, African move further. This Red Sea will change into another ocean. Okay, so that time you can name it at what ocean you want to name it. Okay, but currently what is happening? It is in linear sea stage. Divergence can happen in the future also. Clear? So that's why we discuss plate tectonics is not only explaining past phenomena, present phenomena. It is also explaining what future phenomena. That in future what will happen? This region will expand, this will expand, and will lead to creation of what? Creation of nothing but oceans.
So the Atlantic Ocean is also created in this way by following all the above steps.
Yeah, Atlantic Ocean is created like this by falling out. Okay, so earlier these were joined. When they were joined, what had happened? Okay, you will see first. What? Eruption, thinning of crust leading to what? Rift Valley formation, then linear sea formation, finally divergence leading to oceanic formation.
Some might be discarded the theory also
Which one?
that Africa was a part of South America.
No, we discussed. This assumption was not discarded. No, we only discussed the evidences and the forces which is responsible for breaking was discarded by later theorists.
Because one of the criticism was that the boundaries are subjected to change.
Yeah, boundaries are subjected to change. Okay, that criticism was there to discard the theories. Okay, what evidences he is giving. Okay, he is not giving evidences that why this is why this oceans has been created, or why rift valleys. He is not talking about that. No, Werner is only saying that since this is fitting, what will happen? Okay, my theory is correct, but your theory is correct. How it will be correct? When you explain the forces, when you explain the process, then only what will happen? The theory becomes correct. But you are not explaining any forces. Okay, you are saying tidal forces and cold stream forces. Those are not responsible. Which forces is responsible? Convectional current. Okay, so convectional current is responsible for thinning of crust, ruptures, and other things. So that's why Wegener's theory is Wegener's theory is discarded because of what? Because of the forces he is talking about, evidences he is giving. For that reason, it is discarded. Clear? The assumption that Earth was initially what? The one continent, and from this one continent, Angara, Gondwana, and further breaking has happened. This has not been discarded. This is accepted by even plate tectonics theorists. Okay, so that is what they are explaining, that how from one continent we have created into several continents. This is through convectional current. That is generated in the mantle region. Clear? And why? This is leading to creation of three different boundaries: convergent, divergent, and conservative one. Fine.
And so when Red Sea converts like ocean, what about the boundary countries around it?
What will be the boundary country? This plate will move somewhere else. So then Arabian plate will not be here. The Arabian plate will be over here.
All other boundary countries.
Boundary countries means what?
Like Yemen or all the boundary.
Yeah, this Yemen is over here. All these countries will also move. These countries will all countries will move. Wherever land will be there, what will happen? There you are going to create countries, no? So if land itself has moved from here to here, what will happen? Countries will also move. That is there. Fine. So initially we discussed India was over here, but then collided and India shifted to where? India shifted to nothing but Eurasian part, that is there. So what you see is the change is something that is constantly happening. Fine. Any doubt regarding this? So this is all about which type of boundary? Divergent boundary. So at divergent boundary, what you are going to see? Highland. Second is what? Rift Valley. The third is what? The linear sea, and fourth is what? Oceans. So this is there. Have a break and then we
Class started నాకు 5 minutes నిద్ర వచ్చింది.
So what we have discussed is what we have discussed is the 4 stages. The first stage is highland, the second stage is the rift lake or rift valley, the third stage is linear sea, and the fourth stage is the oceans. Yes. So when you see further, okay, divergence, plate divergence has happened, what is going to be formed over here? Oceans are going to be formed. And when volcanic eruption will happen inside the oceans, what will happen? What will form?
Ridges.
Ridges are going to be formed. So this is how the ridges are going to be formed. So because with further divergence, eruption is going to happen, and this eruption will lead to formation of what we call as a ridges. Fine. This will lead to formation of what we call as a ridges. So these are okay, what these are the important things: highland, rift, linear sea, oceans, and ridges are something that are going to be created. Fine. So these are the things that you are going to see at which boundary? At the divergent boundary. Fine. Now another important part that you have to keep in mind is, as we discussed, the examples. Here you are seeing east, okay, African Rift Valley. So you are seeing East African Rift Valley that you are finding, and here you are seeing again Great Rift Valley. There are 2 Rift Valley now being created in case of, okay, Africa. One is called as the East African Rift Valley, another is referred as the Great African Rift Valley. So remember that particular part regarding, okay, examples. If question comes regarding highland, Ethiopian highland, that you know is created because of this one. Now this region of Ethiopian island is referred as a Afar region. Afar region. So Ethiopia, Eritrea, this region is referred as what? This region is referred as the Afar region or Afar triangle region. Clear? So highland formation is happening in this region, which is called as the Afar region, or the countries that are covered here is Ethiopia and Eritrea. Basically, this particular part of Africa is referred as what? Is referred as a Horn of Africa. This is referred as which type of Africa? Horn of Africa. Clear? So Horn of Africa includes 4 countries. These include 4 countries. That is the Somalia, Ethiopia and Eritrea, and you have Djibouti. So these 4 countries are what? These 4 countries are referred as what? These 4 countries are referred as what? These 4 countries are referred as the Horn of Africa. These are referred as a Horn of Africa. Fine. So you have, okay, what? These are being formed at which boundary? These are being formed at a divergent boundary. Fine. The third type, okay, of boundary now you have is which boundary? Conservative boundary. So third type of boundary that you have is a conservative boundary. This is, okay, the third type of boundary. So after the divergent and convergent boundary, the third type of boundary that you are finding is a convergent boundary. Clear? So what happens is this, what happens at this boundary? We discussed plates are going to pass what? Plates are, okay, going to be sliding past each other. Okay, so they are neither going to be what? Neither going to be subduction nor going to be upthrusting. The plates are going to slide past each other. Okay, when the plates are going to slide past each other, that type of boundary is going to be called as what? Conservative boundary. Clear? Now this boundary, this type of boundary, what you are going to see? You are going to see earthquake. So what you are going to see is earthquake. So as we discussed, if they are, okay, sliding past each other, what will happen? What you are going to see? Earthquake you are going to see. The second thing, you are not going to see formation of what? Any trenches or any ridges. You are not going to see formation of any trenches or any ridges. Okay, so as we discussed, ridges are formed where? Ridges are formed at the divergent boundary. When plates are moving away, volcanic eruption will happen. This volcanic eruption will happen under the ocean. So these mountains are created under the oceans, and these are called as what? These are called as the ridges. So no ridges formation, no trenches formation. Clear? Plate is also not moving down. When plate is also not moving down, no trenches are going to be formed. Clear? So neither you'll see formation of trenches nor you'll see formation of ridges. Clear? When ridges are formed, what happens? You see volcanic eruption happens. Volcanic eruption leads to formation of what? Formation of new crust. New crust comes out, new material comes out, new lava comes out, new magma comes out. This magma cools and solidifies. So new crust are going to be formed at which boundary?
Divergent.
Divergent. And older crusts are being destroyed at which boundary? When this plate is going down, what will happen? As we discussed, it is going to melt. So when this plate is going down, as you go inside the earth, what is happening? Temperature is increasing. So when temperature is increasing, this plate will melt. When this plate will melt, again we discuss here volcanic eruption is something that is okay happening. Lava is being formed, eruption is happening. But here, what is happening? Destruction is something that is okay happening. Here the crusts are being destroyed. The plate is melting, crusts are being destroyed. So at the convergent boundary, you are seeing what? Destruction is happening. At the divergent boundary, you are seeing what? New crusts are being formed. And that's why this boundary is referred as a conservative boundary, because here neither creation nor destruction happens. Neither creation nor destruction happens at this boundary. So that's why this boundary is referred as which type of boundary? Conservative boundary. As the plate is neither moving up, as the plate is neither moving down, the plate is only sliding past each other. So when they are sliding past each other, neither the crust is being created, because when plate go down, crust will destroy. When plates are diverging, new crusts are being created. But when plates are sliding past each other, nothing is being done, neither creation nor destruction. And that's why this type of boundary is referred as what? This type of boundary is referred as a conservative boundary. So at the conservative boundary, what phenomena you are only observing? You are only seeing earthquake. You are not going to see even volcanic eruption. You are not going to see even volcanic eruption at this type of boundary. Why volcanic eruption? Because we discussed volcanic eruption occurs either at divergent boundary or it will occur when plate will move down and melt. Clear? So neither of the things is happening. So here no volcanic eruption will also happen. Clear? So this type of boundaries are referred as what? Type of boundaries are referred as a conservative boundary. But this earthquake that is occurring over here is going to be what? Is going to be much more severe earthquake. It is going to be much more severe earthquake. Why? Why the earthquake forming at this boundary will be much more severe? These are shallow focus earthquake. Remember which earthquake is more dangerous? Shallow focus earthquake. So we discussed when earthquake that is occurring near to the surface, when energy is being released near to the surface, that type of earthquake is more dangerous than the earthquake where energy is releasing deep inside the earth. That is okay there. Clear? So since here the plates are sliding past each other, whatever energy that is going to be released will happen on the surface itself. That's why this type of earthquake that is going to be generated is what? Much more severe. That's why we talked about this fault, San Andreas fault, and we discussed this fault which is there near California. This fault which is there near California can lead in here 1906 a huge earthquake has occurred and lead to lot of destruction, lot of loss of life. So it was occurring at which boundary? As we discussed, it was occurring at which boundary? Conservative boundary. So whenever earthquake will occur at a conservative boundary, you will see nothing but these type of what? These type of the phenomena. Only earthquake will be observed. No ridges, no trenches, no creation, no destruction, no volcanic eruption. Fine. So this is all about all your three boundaries. So what is the difference? What is the difference? So you have convergent boundary. Convergent boundary we discussed can be divided into continent, ocean. Then you have second boundary which is divergent, conservative. So these three boundaries are there in the plate tectonics theory. At convergent boundary, we discuss if continental plates is converging, what is being formed? Fold mountain like Himalayas. We discuss Himalayas are formed, fold mountains are formed when continent conversion. Second thing what we have written? Yes, no volcanic eruption, but what will be generated? Earthquake will be generated over here. Then no trenches formation because plate is not subducting. So when continent plate are going to collide, we discuss both plate are lighter plate, what will happen? Upthrusting will happen. So because of upthrusting, which plateaus are going to be formed? Tectonic plateaus. Okay, so tectonic plateaus are going to be formed, and this tectonic plateau is leading to formation of what? So we discussed this is how Himalayas are there, and which plateaus is over here? Tibetan plateau. So Tibetan plateau is okay. Which type of plateau? It is a tectonic plateau. These phenomena is occurring due to continent-continent collision. What is happening due to continent ocean? We discussed ocean plates are what? Always denser. So ocean plate will move down. When ocean plate will move down, what will happen?
Trenches will be formed.
So trenches is going to be formed. Then
Volcanic eruption.
volcanic eruption will happen. Yes.
Continental arc.
Continental arc is going to be there. Yes. And the last thing, earthquake also be there, and fold mountains. Yes. Fold mountains are also going to be there. So these are formed due to continent ocean collision. Fine. If oceanic are there, both plates are what? Denser plate. So both plate will try to go down. When both plate will try to go down, we discuss denser one will subduct. It will lead to formation of what?
Deeper trenches.
Deeper trenches. Okay. So trenches here will be more deeper than trenches that are formed over here. Fine. Then
Island arc and
island arc. Yes. Okay. We discussed which are the example. Japanese island, Indonesian island. All these are okay. Which type of island? Island arc. Then we discuss what? Earthquake will occur. Yes. Volcanic eruption will occur. Any other thing? Any other thing is going to be formed? Deeper trenches, island arc, earthquake, volcanic eruption, and ridges. Ridges are going to be formed at mid-oceanic ridges, oceanic collision. Yes. So these are okay. What these are going to be formed? Divergent. What you are going to be seeing?
Highland.
Highland first stage, second stage,
Rift Valley.
Rift Valley, third stage, linear sea,
And oceans.
oceans. Yes. So this is going to be formed along with the ridges. Ridges are formed at this boundary. Last you have conservative. Conservative is what? No creation, no destruction. What is going to occur? Only earthquake. Okay, so here also earthquake will occur. Here also earthquake will occur. So this is how the okay, you have convergent, divergent, and the conservative boundary. Fine. So if question comes, remember that okay, that particular part we have discussed. That if question comes that why Rockies, this Rocky Mountains are formed away from the coastal region, while Andes Mountains are formed closer to the coastal region, what will be the answer? What will be the answer?
Nature of subduction.
Nature of subduction. Yes. Okay. So nature of subduction, in case of Andes, more deeper subduction is happening. In case of Rockies, less deeper subduction is happening. That's why Rockies are formed away from the coast and Andes are formed closer to the coast. Fine. So this is how you can explain all the formation of mountains, okay, that are there. Fine. I don't think net is available today. So this is all about all the theories that we need to cover. So which are the theories we talked about? The first started with which theory? Continental drift theory. Then
Conventional current.
continental drift theory. Then convectional current theory. Then third is what? Sea, the paleomagnetism. Fourth is sea floor. And last is what? Plate tectonics. So all these boundaries are talked in which tectonic? Plate tectonic. And we discussed this is the most comprehensive theory, not only explaining past how the mountains, earthquake and volcanic eruption has happened in the past, how currently it is happening, and how in future also it will happen. All phenomena is something that is explained by the plate tectonics. And plate tectonics we discussed talked about three boundaries, that is convergent boundary, divergent boundary and conservative boundary. Okay, so now we are done with this theory part. The next topic that we are going to take up is the lakes. So how the lakes are being formed? What is lakes? So next topic is your lakes. Fine. Anyone, what is the difference between lake and pond?
No running water in the pond,
No running water in the pond. In lakes,
and the running water will take place. And this is small in size, and lakes are very.
lakes are bigger in size. No, running water is also not there in the lakes. No, lakes are also okay covered. No running waters are there also in the lakes.
The pond can be created.
Ponds can be created.
Manually can be done.
Lakes can be created manually.
Might be, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? What is the difference you are finding between lakes and ponds? Any difference? The first thing that you have to keep in mind, both lakes and ponds are going to be surrounded by what? They are going to be surrounded by land on all sides. So they have to be surrounded by land on all sides. Okay, that is what one condition that you have to keep in mind. Clear? So lakes and pond has to be surrounded by the lands. Clear? Second thing, the lakes are deeper than the ponds. Deeper than the ponds and bigger than the ponds. So volume of water plus area of water is bigger in what? Bigger in lakes. Clear? So when we are talking about deeper means we are talking about depth, and we are talking about bigger means we are talking about area. Clear? So lakes are going to be what? Deeper also. Volume of water that it will have will also be greater. Area wise also the lakes are going to be nothing but greater. Clear? Now generally 3-meter deep water, if it is more than this, we generally call it as what? We generally call it as a lakes. Okay? We generally call it as a lake if water is more than 3-meter deep, that is okay there. Clear? So this difference you have to keep in mind with regard to what is lakes and what is ponds. Fine. Now, as per in geography, you'll see classification of lakes, and classification of lakes can be done in various forms. Clear? Classification of lakes can be done in various forms. So lakes can be classified. Lakes can be classified based on different types. These can be classified based on different types. The first is whether the lakes are classified based on permanency. Permanency means what? Whether lakes are present throughout the year or lakes are present for a certain periods. Clear? That is called as a permanency. Clear? So if lakes are present throughout the year or lakes are something that are present only for a certain period. Clear? Based on permanency, it can be permanent lake or temporary lake. If present throughout the year, permanent lake. If created for certain period, then it is going to be called as what? Temporary lake. Okay, so that is one classification based on permanency. Fine. The second classification is based on water or salinity content. So water or salinity content, how much salt is dissolved in the water? How much salt is dissolved in water? Here, that is called as a salinity content. How much salt is dissolved in water? That is called as a salinity content. And based on salinity content, you have three classification of lake. These are called as a freshwater lake. Freshwater lake. The second is what? Brackish water lake. And the third is called as what? Salt water lake. Salt water lake. So depending upon how much salt content is dissolved in water, you can have three classifications: freshwater lake, brackish water lake, as well as salt water lake. Now freshwater lake is what? Freshwater lake means the salt content will be less than how much? It will be less than 5 parts per thousand. If the salt content is less than 5 parts per thousand, then it is going to be called as a freshwater lake. If salt content is between 5 to 35 parts per thousand, then it is going to be called as which type of lake? Brackish water lake. And if it is greater than 35 parts per thousand, then it is going to be called as which type of lake? Salt water lake. So lake classification can also be done based on salinity, how much salt content is something that is okay there. Clear? Now, where do you see freshwater lake? Where you will see salt water lake, or where you will see brackish water lake?
Saltwater lake near the ocean.
Near the oceans.
Fresh water from the mountains.
Fresh water from the mountains.
Brackish also near the ocean. So
near the oceans.
then
Fine.
water drainage will happen.
What is the definition for lake we have discussed?
Okay, sir. Sorry. Surrounded by land on all four sides.
It should be surrounded by land. Okay, so you can't have what? You can't have oceans on one side. Clear? That is the definition we have written. So don't confuse lake with the estuaries. Estuaries are having what? Brackish water. Clear? So where the rivers meet the sea, that is called as what? Estuaries. We have discussed that river meet the sea. So that region is called as what? That region is a brackish water zone. So don't confuse with that, because lakes are what? Surrounded by the land on one side. Fine. So where do you see now the brackish water lake, or where do you see freshwater lake, or where do you see salt water lake?
So coming down from the mountain, we can see freshwater lake.
As we discussed, salinity content depends upon what? Salinity content depends upon evaporation. So we discussed wherever more evaporation is going to be there what will happen? Water will get evaporated. What will be left behind? Salt will be left behind. Okay. So there where evaporation exceeds precipitation, where evaporation will exceed precipitation, because rainwater is what? Rainwater is a fresh water. Okay. So wherever evaporation exceeds precipitation, there you are going to see which type of lake? Salt water lake. So generally salt water lakes are being seen in the desert areas. Okay. In desert area, in area where less rainfall is going to happen, there you are going to see salt water lake. Where more rainfall is happening, where precipitation exceeds evaporation, there you are going to see which type of lake? Freshwater lake. Where more rainfall is happening, less evaporation is happening, there you are going to see which type of lake? You are going to see nothing but a freshwater lake over there. Fine. So have three types of lake based on this content. And brackish water, wherever optimum things are there, neither too much rainfall, not too much evaporation, they are brackish water that you are finding. Fine. Like examples, when we come to let's first we'll complete the classification, then we'll come to the examples. But salt water lake you will find in Rajasthan. Okay, so desert region Rajasthan will find India's Sambar lake. Okay, India's Sambar lake is one of the salt water lake that you are finding. And Wooler lake. Okay, Wooler lake is freshwater lake. India's largest natural freshwater lake is a Wooler lake. Okay, which lies in Jammu and Kashmir. So you'll find different places in India having different type of different type of lakes. Fine. The third thing, based on creation. Third classification of lake is based on creation. How you are how the lakes have been created. Whether through natural process, if it is created through natural process, then what will happen? Natural lake. If humans has created, then it is going to be called as which type of lake? Artificial lake. Clear? If lakes has been created through natural process, then it is going to be called as what? Natural lake. If lakes has been created by the humans, then it is going to be called as what? Artificial lakes. Clear? So why the humans will create a lake? Yes. For example, areas where you have to go for irrigation, water is not available, there you are going to go create what? There you are going to create a lakes. Clear? In earlier times, lakes were also created because of navigation purposes. Clear? So in earlier period, artificial lakes were also created for navigation purposes, as trade were Trade were cheaper through what? Trade were cheaper through sea routes, or water routes, through lands, if you are going, or through air you are going, what will happen? Cost of transportation increases. But when you are moving through the sea routes, what will happen? Cost of transportation decreases. So for trading reasons, earlier artificial lakes have been created. Clear? Some lakes have been created also for beautification purposes. Some lakes have also been created for beautification purposes, especially when you see Islamic architecture. Islamic architecture generally have creation of lakes, like Taj Mahal. In front of Taj Mahal, you see a pond type or lake type has been created. Why it has been created? Due to the mirror image. That the mirror Taj Mahal image will be reflected in case of nothing but water during the night time. So beautification purposes, to make that area more beautiful and etc. So Islamic architecture generally have the concept of creation of lakes, not only in India but also abroad also, because origin of Islamic architecture has happened where? Origin of Islamic architecture has happened where? In the Arab region. Arab region, deserted region. Deserted region means what? Loss of water. So wherever architecture they have created, the water because water was necessary in Arab region. So that architecture, when it has been borrowed in India, you will see what presence of water in case of nothing but okay, Islamic architecture also. Fine. So when you read history, you will find okay something called Nagara or Dravidian architecture, etc. Temple architecture. So in some temple architecture we don't have a lake. Like Nagara architecture, we don't have concept of lake. But Dravidian southern architecture, temple architecture have a concept of lake. Okay. So this architecture is being created. So artificial lakes can also be created for beautification purposes. So lot of reasons why we create artificial lake. Okay. We create artificial lake for beautification, for okay irrigation purposes, drinking water purposes. We can create artificial lake also for navigation purposes, that is okay there. And artificial lakes are also being created for storage of water, like big dams. When you are creating big dams are what? They are the okay lakes. Clear? You take the water away from the rivers and store this in okay what? Stored in a reservoir. This reservoir is referred as what? Referred as a lakes only. So artificial lakes can also be created for hydroelectricity generation purposes, other generation purposes. For that also you can create nothing but okay artificial lake. So lakes can also be classified into natural lake and artificial lake. Fine. Next, lakes can also be classified based on what? Based on tectonic origin. So lakes classification is also based on what? Based on tectonic origin. What is tectonic origin means?
Due to plate activity.
Due to plate activity. Just now we discussed plate tectonics. So okay, the tectonic means whatever happening due to interior of earth. Okay, so the force that is acting from interior of earth, this can lead to what? This can lead to nothing but okay creation of which type of lake? Tectonic lake. So what is the example of tectonic lake?
Rift African.
One is okay what? We just now discussed Rift Valley lakes. Rift Valley lakes, that is an example. And second is what? The tectonic lakes. So we'll see formation of two type of lake based on tectonic origin. One is called as a Rift Valley lake and tectonic lake. Now these lakes are what? These lakes are deepest, broadest. Generally you will see these lakes are going to be deepest, broadest, because they have been created due to tectonic origin, due to Earth's interior forces. That's why these lakes are something that are deepest or broadest in nature. Fine. Just give me a pause. So you will find so when you see the map of okay Asia, Asian region maps, when you see here you will find above Iran, you will find okay a water bodies, the big water bodies above Iran that you are seeing. This is called as a Caspian Sea. This is referred as what? This is referred as a Caspian Sea. But Caspian Sea is not a sea. It is what? It is a lake. Lake of which origin? Tectonic origin. Because since okay we discussed this is okay what? These lakes are broadest and deepest. That's why it is called as what? It is called as a sea. Sea means what? More volume of water. Lakes means what? Small volume of water. So why this is referred as a Caspian Sea? Because when tectonic lakes are being created, then what will happen? These are going to be more deeper and these are going to be more broader in nature. So they will have huge volume of water. When they will have huge volume of water, then such lakes are also referred as what? Sea. Okay. So that's why Caspian Sea. Caspian Sea is not a okay what? It is not a sea as it is. It is a lake only, created due to which activity? Created due to tectonic activities, that is okay there. But okay, what will happen? Since volume of water is much bigger in Caspian Sea, then it is called as what? Then it is called as a Caspian Sea. Sea, the term sea is used. Okay. And we discussed where is the Rift Valley part? Rift Valley Lake in the Africa region. So just now we discussed in Africa, you are going to find what? Rift Valley Lake. So here So this part of Africa, as we discussed, now rifting is happening. You can see this is a water bodies. You can see this is a water bodies. This is a water body that is okay being created. So all these water bodies is created because of what? Because of rifting. Okay. So we discuss now the what is happening. Plate are diverging. When plate are diverging, what will happen? Gap will be created. When gap will be created, what will happen? It will be filled with the water. So that's why here you are going to see which type of lake? Rift Valley Lake. So lakes that are created due to what? Lakes that are created due to tectonic origin are going to be what? Going to be more deeper and broader. So based on tectonic origin, this is okay classification of lake. Next, based on what? Based on action of rivers. Based on action of rivers. Okay, based on action of rivers, which lakes are being created? We have discussed already. Which lakes are being created based on action of river?
Easterlies.
Easterlies. What is formed in the lower course of river?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that is Oxbow Lake.
Oxbow Lake, yes. Okay, one type of lake we have discussed is what? Oxbow Lake. So based on action of river is which river? Oxbow Lake. So we discussed always river moves in which fashion? Meandering fashion, snake-like pattern or wave-like pattern. River moves like this. But we discussed rivers erode this side and river erode this side. So after a certain period of time, river will adopt a linear path and move like this. And they will what? They will leave this particular part of the path, and this particular part of the path becomes which lake? This becomes a Oxbow Lake. So that is what we have discussed already. Rivers form this in a lower course. So when rivers are flowing and rivers are nothing but okay, forming a lake, such type of lakes are called as a Oxbow Lake. So since it is in bow shape, okay, since it is in bow shape, okay, it is called as what? Oxbow Lake. Fine. What else is formed due to the action of river? Any other okay thing? Any other lakes is okay formed due to action of river? Now, the source of mountain, from where the river of source of mountain, from where the rivers are originating, okay, this is okay what? This is also forming a river origin lake. River origin lake. From where the rivers are originating, that is called as a river origin lake. Clear? So you know that from where the Ganga is originating, Gangotri Glacier. So Ganga is originating from the glacier because it is what? It is a perennial river. Glacier melt and rivers flows throughout the year. Clear? But from where? Okay, Kaveri river is originating. Tal Kaveri. So Tal Kaveri is going to be what? Tal Kaveri is not perennial. It is not okay. So it is there. The water is what? That water is okay deposited in okay which region? In the monsoon region that is okay there. So lake. Okay, lake that is okay created because of from where the rivers are originating, that is called as a river origin lake. Fine. Next, based on action of glaciers. Based on action of glacier, if rivers are being created, then what will happen? Which lakes are being created? Now glacier also we have covered. So which lakes are being created? Yeah, Sirk or Kori Lake. Yes. Okay, so we discussed the one that is created due to action of river is called as a action of glaciers is called as a Sirk or a Kori Lake. Clear? So remember we discussed mountain. Mountain top will be covered with what? Mountain top will be covered with the snow. When mountain top is covered with the snow, what is happening? It is called as what? It is called as a knee. When this snow becomes much thicker, what will happen? This snow becomes much thicker, what will happen? It will start to flow down. Why it will start to flow down? Gravity. It will start to flow down under the influence of what? It will start to flow down under the influence of gravity. So when it is flowing down, what will happen? We discuss river, glacier, ice will erode things. Ice will erode things, and in this erosion, what are deposited? Ice will be deposited, and this type of lakes are called as what? This type of lakes are called as a Kori Lake or a Sirk Lake. Okay, so the lakes of ice, where ice are being deposited, that type of lakes are called as what? Sirk or a Kori Lake. Fine. Any doubt regarding this particular thing? Then lakes can also be classified based on what? Based on action of wind. lakes can also be classified based on what? Based on action of winds. Based on action of wind, what is going to be created? One is called as a wind deflated lake. One wind deflated lake. So this is created due to action of wind. Clear? Wind deflated lake. What is wind deflated lake? So as we discussed, what does wind does? Erosion. Yes. So wind will take the soil particle from here and move away. So when soil particles are taken from here, what will happen? Here you'll see deposition by the wind. Here you will see erosion by the wind. So what will happen? The soil particle is like this. When erosion happens, soil particle will move. When soil particle will move, what will be created? A gap will be created. This gap is when rainfall happens. In this gap, what is going to be created? Lakes are going to be created. So these lakes are referred as what? These lakes are referred as a wind deflated lake. We discussed where the wind erosion more dominates. In the desert region. So wind deflated lakes are mostly seen where? In the desert region. So this type of lakes are mainly seen in a desert region because in desert region wind can flow without any obstruction. So when wind takes away the soil particle, let's say this is the soil particle, wind takes away the soil particle, the gap is going to be created, depth is going to be created, and because of because of water, river, because of rainfall, you'll see the water is going to be deposited in this one. Fine. So this type of lakes are created based on what? Actions of wind, and this is called as what? This is called as a wind deflated lakes. Fine.
Sir, in desert areas, the water holding capacity will be too much, right? So then how
In
the
desert
water-
area, water holding capacity is going to be.
the absorption of water to the sand will be.
Yeah, there will be more absorption, but you'll still see you'll still see water holding on to nothing but holding on to the surface. Yeah, though sand is sand is porous in nature, absorbs more amount of water, but what you see is still water, it will not absorb all the water. Water will still be there on the gaps. Yeah.
That is called pond, right?
No, not going to be pond because we discussed water depth is going to be how much? More than 3 meters. So that's why it is going to be called as a lakes. Fine. Generally, when sands are there, let's say sands are there, and what will happen is if rainfall happens, either rainwater will percolate, it will move downwards, or it will flow onto the surface. Clear? It will flow onto the surface. But what will happen when gap is created and rainfall happens? Rainwater will get deposited over here. Now this water will not flow onto the surface. Why it will not flow onto the surface? Why it will not flow onto the surface? Because it is in depth. It is not on the surface that it will flow onto the surface. It is already under the depth. So only absorption, only part of what? That this absorption will happen. Yeah? But if rainfall is also happening, then what will happen? Whatever water is being absorbed will also be what? Replenished by the rainfall. So what will happen? This lakes is going to be there. So such type of lakes are called as what? Such type of lakes are called as a wind deflated lakes. Fine. Another classification of lakes is based on what? On lakes created by volcanic actions. Volcanic actions. So we discussed which lakes is being created. Again, volcano. We have which lakes is being created by volcano. Which lakes is being created? Volcanic landform, extrusive landform, crater or caldera lake. Yes. So we discussed which lakes are being created: crater lake or caldera lake. Crater lake or caldera lake. So what is crater lake or what is caldera lake? Yes. We discussed volcanic eruption, magma will come out from the vent and this magma will then spread onto the surface. So this magma will come out from the vent and this volcanic lava will flow onto the surface. But we discussed when volcano become extinct, then what will happen? This area from where the magma is coming out, rainfall will happen and this area will be filled with what? Water. And when this will be filled with water, what is going to be created? Crater lakes are going to be created. When further this will further broaden, then what will happen? It will change into which lake? Caldera lake. So we discussed crater lake change into which lake? Caldera lake. So this is created due to volcanic action. Then lakes can also be created based in karst region. karst region. Anyone, what is the lake that is being created in karst region? Yeah, sinkhole. Fine. So already karst region again we have covered. So this feature we have covered, which is called as a sinkhole. So sinkhole is created in case of what? In case of karst region. So we discuss karst region is which region?
Limestone.
Where the water is rich in what? Where the rocks is rich in what? Where the rocks is rich in limestone. So limestone means what? Calcium carbonate. We discuss limestone means what? Calcium carbonate. And we discuss calcium carbonate reacts with whom? Reacts with water to form what? Calcium hydroxide. It reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide. So whenever rainwater falls, what will happen? This calcium carbonate will react. Because of the reaction, what will happen? Hole will be created, and this hole will lead to what? This hole will lead to the formation of which hole? Sinkhole. Okay, because of calcium carbonate reacting with the water. Okay, this rocks will have a hole, and this hole is going to be called as what? This hole is going to be called as a sinkhole. Clear? So these are okay. What? These are the classification of lake that you have to keep in mind. Clear? So lakes can be created due to what? Due to permanency, whether the lake water is present throughout the year or not. If it is present throughout the year, permanent lake. If it is not present throughout the year, temporary lake. Second, based on salinity content, how much salt is being dissolved in water. If it is okay, what? Less salt is dissolved, less than 5 ppt, then it is going to be called as what? Freshwater lake. If 5 to 35 ppt, then brackish water. If greater than 35 ppt, then salt water lake. Fine. Based on creation, whether it is created due to natural process or whether it is created due to humans. If humans created, artificial lake. If naturally it is being created, it is going to be called as a natural lake. Fine. Based on tectonic activity, we discussed, okay, tectonic activity is what? Whatever the forces that are taking place inside the interior of Earth. So based on tectonic activity, either you see a creation of what? Rift Valley lake, or you see a creation of what? Tectonic lake. We discuss such type of lakes are what? Such type of lakes are more deeper, more broader, and that's why they sometimes they can be called as a sea also, because volume of water is much more in tectonic lakes. Fine. Then based on action of river origin lake, or which type of lake? Oxbow lake. So we discuss river move in a meandering fashion. After a certain period of time, river will start to move in a straighter line, will abandon this path, and they will abandon this path. This bow shape is going to be called as what? This bow shaped lake is going to be called as a oxbow lake. Clear? Action of glacier, we discussed, okay, silk or a kori. So we discuss what happens on the top of the mountain, what will be deposited? Snow will be deposited. When this snow becomes thick under the influence of gravity, they starts to move down. When they starts to move down, they're gonna erode the rock mountain, and in this mountain, what will be deposited? Ice are going to be deposited. In this hole, what is going to be deposited? Ice are going to be deposited. Such are going to be called as what? Such are going to be called as a silk or a kori lakes. Fine. Based on action of wind, as we discussed, wind will move. Okay, this particles from one end to another end create a hole. When this rainfall happens, this will be filled with water, and such type of lakes are called as a wind deflated lakes. We discussed on volcanic eruption. Because of volcanic eruption, the region is going to be what? Where we have made the diagram?
So near the meandering diagram.
Near the meandering diagram. Yes. Okay. So what you see is okay. From here, these things are okay emerging. Lava is emerging. When volcano become extinct, no lava is coming out. Then this region will be filled with water, and this is going to create which lake? Crater lake. When crater becomes enlarged, big lakes are going to be created. It is going to be called as a caldera lake. And the last that you have is a sinkhole. Sinkhole is created in which region? Karst region. Because here what is happening? The calcium carbonate will react with water, limestone will react with water, and it will create a hole, and this hole where water will deposited, this is called as a sinkhole. Fine. So these are classification of lakes that you have to keep in mind. Clear? Now in mains you can get these questions that explain, okay, what? Explain various types of lakes. Clear? So you have to explain these classification, and you have to mention examples of what? Examples of nothing but okay, such lake. That type of question you are going to get in the mains examination. But in prelims you are going to get more of a, okay, which type of question? You are going to get more of a lakes related question which are present. Like, okay, we discussed what is Sambar lake, which type of lake is Sambar lake. They can give you option as well. Brackish water lake, salt water lake, freshwater lake, natural lake. Like these options can be given, okay, and you have to pick. Clear? So now we are going to cover the lakes of world also and lakes of India also. What are the important lakes of the world and what are the important lakes of India also, that is okay. Clear? Now the first important you have to keep in mind is a Great Lakes. There is a term that is only used called as a Great Lakes. Now Great Lakes is what? Great Lake is a set of 5 lakes. When 5 lakes together are there, then it is going to be called as what? Then it is going to be called as a Great Lakes. Here 5 lakes together are referred as what? Are referred as a Great Lakes. And where these Great Lakes are being found? Now if you see the map, you will find this is okay what? This is where Canada is lying, this is where US is lying. On the border of Canada and US, here you will find many lakes together, and this is together called as what? This is together called as a Great Lakes. So this is together called as what? Great Lakes. Fine. Fine. So this is okay what? This is nothing but okay the part that you are seeing. So this is part you are seeing. This is where US is there. This is where Canada is there. In between US and Canada, you'll find okay what? You'll find nothing but okay. These lakes are something that are present. These lakes together are called as what? These lakes together are called as a Great Lakes. These lakes together are called as a Great Lakes. There are 5 lakes. What are the 5 lakes? So you have Lake Superior, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Ontario. So these 5 lakes together are called as what? These 5 lakes together are called as the Great Lakes. So a set of 5 lakes are referred as a Great Lake, involved Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, as well as Lake Ontario. Clear? Now, one question that UPSC has asked is that which of the following lakes forms boundary between whom? Following lakes form boundary between US and Canada. So out of these 5 lakes, which lakes are forming the boundary between US and Canada? This is what the question has been asked in the case of examination. Clear? Now, if you see the Great Lakes, except for one lake, you can see this is yellow region, US region. You can see this lake is entirely lying in US. So this lake is something that is entirely lying in the yellow region. Clear? You can see this lake is entirely lying where? In the yellow region. Rest of the lakes are sharing nothing but boundary between what? US and Canada. So except for which lake? Except for Lake Michigan, all other lakes are what? All other lakes are sharing the boundary between whom? Share the boundary between US and Canada. Clear? So Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. These 4 lakes are sharing the boundary between US and Canada. Lake Michigan lies entirely in USA. It lies entirely in USA. It lies entirely in USA. Clear? So this is what you are finding with regard to the Great Lakes. So Great Lakes together are called as a set of 5 lakes. These are what? Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. Out of these 4 lakes are found forming the boundary between whom? US and Canada. Michigan lies entirely where? It lies entirely in case of USA. So like we discussed, this question has been asked that which are forming the boundary between whom? US and Canada. Question might be asked that which is what? Which lakes lies, which of the Great Lake lies entirely in USA? So it is going to be what? It is going to be Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is something that is lying entirely where? Entirely in the USA. Fine. Any doubt regarding this one? Now out of these 5 lakes, which is the biggest lake? So Lake Superior is what? Lake Superior is the biggest lake. Okay, out of these 5, which is okay, the bigger one. The biggest one is okay, your Lake Superior. Clear? This is okay, biggest one. In fact, okay, after Caspian Sea, it is going to be what? It is going to be nothing but okay, by surface area, this lake is biggest in world. Okay, Lake Superior after Caspian Sea is biggest in world. That you have to keep in mind. Clear? In terms of surface area, Lake Superior is second most. Okay, after the Caspian Sea. Clear? Fine. Now the second important thing that you have to keep in mind is another important lake that you're going to find is in Russia. So another important lakes that you're going to find is in Russia. And if you see the map of Asia, this is a map of Asia. We discussed which mountains separate Asia with Europe? Ural mountain. Okay, so we discussed Ural mountain separated. Here you will finding what? Here you are finding you can see the water bodies. The blue color is there between nothing but continent. That is there. Now this blue color is what? This blue color is called as a Lake Baikal. Okay, this is referred as a Lake Baikal. This is called as a Lake Baikal. Clear? Now it is deepest lake in the world. Deepest lake in the world. Okay, Lake Baikal is considered as the deepest lake in the world. Okay, that is there. Clear? And it is also second longest lake in the world. So it is also second longest lake in the world. Okay, so it is deepest lake also, and it is also second longest lake that you are finding. Clear? So which is the longest lake when we are saying it is the second longest lake? Which is the longest lake that is there? So there is another lake that you are going to find, which you find in case of what? Which you find in case of Africa. So you can see this particular lake, which is there in case of nothing but Africa. This lake is considered as the longest lake in the world. Okay, so this lake is considered as what? Longest lake in the world. This name is Lake Tanganyika. Lake Tanganyika is what? Longest lake in the world. Clear? So largest in terms of surface area, if it is going to be asked, Caspian Sea. If if option is not given as a Caspian Sea, then Lake Superior. Fine. So we discussed Caspian Sea is largest in terms of surface area. If sometimes as we discussed, we call it as a sea because of huge volume of water. So sometimes in option, if it is not given, then you have to go with what? Lake Superior. Second thing, Lake Baikal is what? If deepest lake is going to be asked, it is going to be what? Lake Baikal. If it is what? Longest lake is going to be asked, then it is going to be called as what? Lake Tanganyika. Where is Lake Tanganyika? Africa. Where is the Lake Baikal? In Russia. Fine. So these parts you have to keep in mind. Clear? So these are these are the important lakes of the world that you have to keep in mind. Now in prelims you will get a question regarding the name of the lake and okay the area in which they are located or country that in which they are located that you are going to get. Clear? So where you will see Lake Tanganyika, we discuss here is you are finding which Lake Tanganyika, which is okay which is the not deepest, it is the longest. Yes, Lake Tanganyika is okay the longest, and we discussed okay which is okay the deepest one. Lake Baikal is deepest one, which is the largest in terms of surface area. Caspian Sea. After Caspian Sea, we discuss which is the largest one. This is called as a Lake Superior. So this is called as a Lake Superior, and we discussed okay this lake which lies entirely in USA is called as what? Lake Michigan. Clear? Lake Michigan. Clear? So just okay just you write down these four: Lake Winnipeg, Great Bear Lake, Great Slave Lake, and Lake Athabasca. Write down these four lake names: Lake Winnipeg, Great Bear Lake, Great Slave Lake, and Lake Athabasca. Write down these lies in Canada. These lies in Canada. Name of these four and mention that it lies in Canada. Lake Winnipeg, Great Bear Lake, Great Slave Lake, Lake Athabasca. All these four lies in what? All these four lies in Canada. Yeah. Now you can see this is which type of lake. Which is name itself is given as which type of lake? Salt lake. Okay, so Great Salt Lake is one of the salty lake. Salt content is very high in Great Salt Lake. Yeah, salt content here is very high in. That's why it is referred as a Great Salt Lake. The top four lies in Canada, and Great Salt Lake lies in US. So Great Bear Lake, Lake Winnipeg, Great Slave Lake, Lake Athabasca, all these four lakes lies in Canada. And then okay, we discussed this already. We have discussed with regard to Great Lake, which lies on the Canada-US border. Then you mentioned about Great Salt Lake. Great Salt Lake lies where? Great Salt Lake lies in case of US. Fine. Now why do you find Salt Lake here? Great Salt Lake, why you find in case of okay the US, why this salt content here is very high?
High temperature.
High temperature. Any other reason? Any other reason why do you find okay high content of salt? Evaporation. Kind of. Any other reason? Yes, evaporation is one of the reason, but why there is no rainfall? We discussed okay when salt lakes are there. When salt lakes are there, when evaporation exceeds what? Precipitation. So why there is no rainfall?
Sir, it is landlocked country. Sir,
No.
because
Remember
of,
Mount?
polar water coming there.
No, not polar water coming there. We discussed when we discuss about mountains. We discuss mountains influence what? Influence the weather. Clear? So what is happening is okay when winds are coming from this side. What is happening? When wind are coming from this side, what is happening? Which mountain is over here? Rocky Mountains is okay over here. So we have already discussed Rocky Mountain is over here. So when winds are coming from this side, winds carry moisture because they are coming from where? From the oceanic side. Clear? These are blocked by whom? Mountains. Clear? As a result, wind has to move up. When you go up, what will happen? Temperature declines. As you go up to the mountain, what will happen? Temperature declines. So what will happen to the moisture? Moisture temperature will decline. Condensation will happen. This will condensate, and here what you see is okay. Rainfall is going to happen. Clear? Here you see because as you go up, vapor which is okay there in the air will condense. Moisture will condense because temperature is declining. So vapor will convert into what? Water, and this will cause rainfall on this particular side of the mountain. But when wind will cross onto the other side, wind has lost its what? Moisture. So when wind lost moisture, wind will not be able to create any rainfall. So that's why what will happen? No precipitation, only evaporation, and this is okay reason why you see creation of which one? Great Salt Lake. Okay, so the Great Salt Lake is created because of nothing but okay this particular region over here. So this type of this side of the mountains where you see more rainfall, okay, is referred as what? Is referred as a windward side. It is referred as a windward side of the mountain, and this side of the mountain where you see less rainfall is called as a leeward side of the mountain. Clear? So the side of the mountain where you see more rainfall is referred as a windward side, and the side of the mountain where it is less rainfall is there is referred as what? Leeward side. Fine. So this is the reason why you see in India also, okay, you see the Mumbai gets more amount of rainfall, but region Nagpur and etc. gets lesser amount of rainfall. Okay, why they get lesser amount of rainfall? Which mountain is there? Western Ghats. Okay, so we discussed Western Ghats are there. Western Ghats are blocking, okay, the movement. So Mumbai, which is on this side, windward side, get more rainfall, but other region which is on the other side do not get much of rainfall. That is okay there. Clear? So the side which get more rainfall is called as a windward side. The side which get less rainfall is called as a leeward side. So remember that particular part, and that's why here you see formation of which type of lake? Formation of nothing but okay, the Great Salt Lake. Fine. Fine. Next you write down Lake Titicaca, and here you write down Peru and Bolivia. It lies at the boundary of whom? It lies at the boundary of Peru and Bolivia. It lies at the boundary of Peru and Bolivia. Again, Lake Titicaca has come in, okay, what, UPSC examination, but as an option. Okay, they have not asked a particular question, but they have asked question on lake in which they have mentioned Lake Titicaca. Yeah. Which mountain is over there?
Andes.
Andes. Okay, that's why Lake Titicaca is okay, what? It is called as a highest navigable lake. Okay, Lake Titicaca is called as a highest navigable. Navigable means what? That you can move from one side to another side. You can move from one side to another side. So much of the trade between Peru and Bolivia happens through this particular lake. Okay, so it is a navigable lake. Yeah, because when the lakes are at the mountain is very rough. Okay, so you don't see, okay, navigation is something that is okay possible. But okay, you'll see navigation possible over here. Because of that, it is also called as what? It is also called as a highest navigable lake. Clear? Then you mention about these lakes. Lake Turkana. Okay, you mention about Lake Turkana. You mention about, okay, this Lake Malawi, Lake Nysa, Lake Tanganyika, Lake Albert. Okay, mention about all these five. So Lake Albert, Lake Malawi, Lake Nysa, Lake Tanganyika, Lake Turkana. Don't mention about Victoria. So Turkana, Tanganyika, Nysa, Malawi and Albert. Mention about these five. And write down, they lies along Rift Valley, Great African Rift Valley. Tanganyika, Nysa, Turkana, Albert and Malawi. These are, okay, what? These are lying along what? Great African Rift Valley. These are lying along Great African Rift Valley. Yeah.
So which lake to mention?
These five. Lake Tanganyika, Nysa, Malawi, Albert and Turkana. Don't write Victoria.
The lines?
They lies along Great African Rift Valley. This lies along Great African Rift Valley.
Sir, Lake Nysa and Malawi are the same.
Lake Nysa and Malawi are not same. They are slightly different.
Okay.
Great African difference.
Great African Rift Valley. Fine. Mention. Next we write down Lake Tanganyika. Just add it. Lake Tanganyika lies at the boundary of Lake Tanganyika lies at the boundary of Democratic Republic of Congo and Tanzania. Democratic Republic of Congo and Tanzania. Democratic Republic of Congo and Tanzania. Here, Lake Malawi. Lake Malawi lies at the boundary of Malawi and Tanzania. Lies at the boundary of Malawi and Tanzania. Tanzania, and Lake Nyasa. Lake Nyasa lies at the boundary of Mozambique and Mozambique, Mozambique and Malawi. Mozambique and Malawi. Okay. The Lake Turkana lies in Tanzania. Lake Turkana lies in Tanzania. Clear? Next, to mention about this Lake Victoria. Lake Victoria. This lie, one more thing, what we have written, Lake Turkana lies in, don't type Tanzania, Kenya. Lake Turkana lies in Kenya, not Tanzania. Kenya, okay? Lake Turkana lies in Kenya, clear? Now,
Kenya, can you spell it, sir?
Kenya, Kenya. Next you write down Lake Victoria. It lies at tri-junction. It lies at tri-junction of Tanzania. It lies at the tri-junction of Tanzania, Kenya and Uganda. Kenya lies at the tri-junction of Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. Clear? So this side, as we discussed, this side is what? Kenya. Lake Turkana lies in Kenya. This side is what? Tanzania. And this side is what? Uganda. So it lies at the tri-junction of what? Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. So that is okay there. And Lake Victoria is origin of which river? It is the origin of Nile River. Okay, River Nile. Okay, originate in Lake Victoria. River Nile, Nile. River Nile originate in Lake Victoria. Yeah, Nile River. Yeah, you know that in history you have studied about Indus Valley civilization. No, Indus Valley civilization was present here, Indus River. So what were the contemporary civilization of Indian civilization? Indus Valley. Mesopotamian civilization. Another civilization was Egyptian civilization. So Egyptian civilization is what? Egyptian civilization is situated on which river? Nile River. Okay. So this is how Nile River flows and merge into what? Merge into Mediterranean Sea region. Clear? So origin of Nile River is where? Origin of Nile River is in this Lake Victoria. Yeah, it flows northward. Flows northward and join Mediterranean Sea. That's why UPSC has also asked this question. Why Red Sea has a higher salinity than Mediterranean Sea? Why Red Sea has a higher salinity than the Mediterranean Sea? Sediments carried by Nile River is deposited.
So what was the question?
Why Red Sea has a higher salinity than Mediterranean Sea? We discussed rainfall happens where more?
On the equator.
On the equator, as equatorial region, more sunlight, more evaporation, more rainfall can happen. As you go up, what will happen? Decrease. So, okay, this is equator. We'll see, this is okay, what? This region is Tropic of Cancer. Here. So you see, this is okay region and this is okay another region. So as you are moving away, rainfall should decline. Okay, so Mediterranean Sea should have higher salinity than what? Higher salinity than the Red Sea. But opposite is happening. Why Red Sea has a higher salinity than the Mediterranean Sea? Associate it, we have already discussed. Okay, you have to apply the concept. Colder water. Any other reason? We discussed deserts.
Hot winds are there.
Any other? We discussed why most of the desert lies between 15 to 30 degrees.
It's a high pressure zone.
It is a zone of high pressure. Yes, okay. So we discussed the tropics are the zone of what? High pressure. If it is a zone of high pressure, we discussed most of the areas are going to be what? Desert area. Clear? Any doubt regarding this one? So rainfall will not happen. And secondly, As you see here, fresh water is being added in Mediterranean Sea. Why? Because river Nile is going and joining what? Mediterranean Sea. So Mediterranean Sea gets nothing but okay, fresh water. But Red Sea do not get any type of fresh water. Why it do not get any type of fresh water? Rainfall is not happening. Much of rainfall is not happening. No river is coming and joining. So that is why you see Red Sea has a higher salinity than what? Whatever the concept we are discussing, just try to apply that. Okay. So this will help you to solve UPSC type of nothing but okay questions. So as we discussed already, this desert region, much of the desert lies in this region. Why? Because it is a zone of high pressure, and Red Sea lies in zone of which pressure? Zone of nothing but okay, high pressure. Fine. Any doubt regarding this
What
particular?
about Lake Van, sir?
What about Lake
Van.
Van? Lake Van of Turkey also has a very high salinity. Okay. This lies in Turkey region. Okay, in this region. Lake Van of Turkey lies in this region. Okay. So here, okay, rainfall is also less, and also we'll see nothing but okay, what? Also we'll see not much of okay, what? Not much of okay the margins. Okay, any fresh water is not joining, so that's why high salinity is there.
So there is a high salinity, the answer will be same for everything.
Huh?
Say for example, the high salinity.
No, answer will not be same for everything. Every location have okay, every region have a different climate. No? Yeah, this region has a different climate, this region has a different climate. Okay, Turkey region has a different climate than okay what? The climate that you are finding over here region. So salinity is what? Salinity is when salinity will occur. We discussed when evaporation will what? Exceed precipitation, then salinity will occur. Okay, or if no fresh water is coming and joining, then what will happen? You will see nothing but okay what? Salinity will be high. Fine. So here what is happening? Here it is a zone of high pressure, no rainfall is happening, but here it is not a zone of high pressure. Here you will see, okay, the winds are blowing, which is called as the westerlies. Westerlies will create nothing but okay rainfall, but not in this region. It will create in Turkey region, but not in this region. So it is not zone of high pressure. Zone of high pressure is this region. Clear? So different region have a different climatic condition, and as a result, answer will be different for different regions. Okay. Same reason will not be there. Ultimate reason is what? Ultimate reason is this only. Evaporation should exceed what? Precipitation, then only salt content is going to be there. Clear? But okay, why evaporation is okay exceeding precipitation? That condition is different for different region. Fine?
Sir, Egyptian civilization was on Lake Victoria.
Not Lake Victoria, it is on Nile River.
Okay.
Okay, it was on Nile River. Like we have a Indus River, we have the Indus Valley civilization, like that on Nile River, we have a Egyptian civilization. Right? So, or more about other lakes we'll take up in the next class. Okay, more about other lakes we'll take up in the next class. Anyone having any doubt?
So we are left with the Lake Albert.
No, we are left with a lot of lake. Lake Albert, Aral Sea, Caspian Sea, Lake Lodoga. Okay, so we'll cover that lake in the tomorrow's class, and also we'll cover the last one, which is plateau part. Okay, so with plateau we'll finish with what? Geomorphology. So already we have discussed volcanic plateau. Already we have discussed tectonic plateau. So those plateaus we have okay how we have plateaus are being created. But in detail we'll discuss the plateau and finish off geomorphology. Fine. Any doubt regarding this one? So try to revise every point, okay, thing that we have covered, and tomorrow we are going to, some of you are going to attempt the test now. So once you attempt the test, then we'll have a discussion on test. Fine.
Once after geomorphology, what are you going to start with?
Climatology will start.
Climatology.
Anyone having any doubt? Thank you.
రేపు మా ఫ్రెండ్స్ రేపు మనకి ఐబీ క్లాసెస్ ఉంటుంది, ఈ క్లాసెస్ ఉంటుంది. ఇన్ని రోజులు చెప్పండి, రేపు చదువుతాం. రేపు టైం ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది రాయటానికి. పొద్దున్న 10 వచ్చి రాస్తాం. ఇంకా సోదిని వద్దు మనం రాయొచ్చు కదా, ఆయన సోదండి ఇప్పుడు. ఈ 2 days ఏం చేసా కూర్చోండి మరి. మనం చదివేసాం. Who's your shall you write the test today?
When will you write
No, instead of using his test, he is going to give the demo, right?
presentation?
Yeah, it is already done for us, so it's better to write the test now.
But that's not right. It would be different.
No, he'll give and we'll check on maybe. Don't know that.
Like,
8 o'clock వచ్చి రాస్తాం ఇక్కడ మరి
You have to mute it and discuss.